Welcome to another edition of National eSTOL. I am Cam Walton. I'm joined today by Austin Parker, also known as Burstix TV. What's going on, Austin?
Hey, not much, man. This is the final regular season event before we get to the
Yes.
finals at Johnson Farm. So, I think we're going to have a great day today. I don't think it's going to be any problems. I don't think there will be any nose overs. We'll have great headwind of 20 miles an hour, and everybody will take off at 10 feet. I think it's going to be wonderful. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't looked at the
Did you
weather
say
yet.
10 feet?
Have you taken a look at the weather yet? How's that going?
Oh, man. Let's check out that weather, seeing how we are going to have that in Lima, Sierra Lima, Romeo, otherwise it's known as so here we go. Sulphur Springs Municipal weather right now is winds calm,
Wind's
visible
calm. Oh, I
miles,
was wrong.
no clouds. Oh,
Oh,
dude,
at
man,
least
hey,
it's a
it's
beautiful day.
okay.
So,
At least, right, yeah. What do we got? 81 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 27 degrees Celsius. Our non-freedom freedom unit using friends.
yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, so
Yeah,
for
yeah.
anybody who's a dual watcher of National Stole and regular or National Stole and eStole, you'll notice that typically the National Stole finals are at Lonestar. eStole finals don't take place at Lonestar. In fact, they take place at our inaugural event place called Johnson's Farm, which is, well, it's a real place, kind of, because it actually is a place in the world, but it's not a real place in the fact that it was made for the original eStole events before we partnered with National Stole. So we do our finals there. So if you're thinking this is the finals because of the place, it's not, but it is the last it is the last regular season event. So today we've got some exciting stuff coming up for you guys. We have Kat doing some interviews with pilots, so stay tuned for that. And we have a lot of
Yes.
great information coming up. It's going to be just a wonderful time.
Hey guys,
Kat says hello. Kat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to some excellent style. I've been watching our pilots practice, and this is going to be a steamer of a competition, 100%.
So, Kat, a lot of the people are concerned about Kat in her future. Is she going to be doing any more competitions, or are you moving over with us on the on the side of broadcasting? You let me know what you're thinking about that, because people are wondering.
Little from column A, little from column B. Currently can't compete in the simulator due to some technical issues, so that's all that's stopping me. So in the meantime, you got my lovely dulcet tones, and yeah, contributing is any way you can.
Well, as long as we have Kat, we'll take her anywhere we can get her.
Truth. It is.
But yeah, super excited.
It is
So,
always
Cam,
a great time to see your face.
So Cam, where are you broadcasting from today? You mentioned you were out at the airport today.
Yeah, I am currently Kilo Bravo. Excuse me, Kilo Bravo. You know what? I'm not even gonna try anymore because I forgot why I was. But Yankee Bravo Yankee Hotel. I'm at the Arkansas Aeroplex. They are having an event today. There is the North American Training Association clinic that's going on. So guys with T6s, P51s, anything that was made by North American Aviation, they're doing their clinic and getting their formation cards today. And also as a celebration or memorial celebration for the crew of Hulk 47 or 46, which was a B-52 that was based here when this place was called Eaker Air Force Base, and that aircraft crashed off the coast of Diego Garcia. So the surviving crew is here today, and they are celebrating their life.
I think Cam might be having some audio issues. Looks like maybe his service is not as good as it should be. So we may. Oh, Cam, are you back?
Yeah, that should be
There he
back.
is.
Hopefully, I don't know what was going on with that, but hopefully y'all caught all that. Maybe not.
Well, so in the meantime, we need to know, for the folks out there in the chat that don't understand, what are we doing? What are you guys doing in planes? What are you trying to do here? What is this? Well, we'll find out right now because we're going to watch the video that explains all that. This is called What is STOL? So if you don't know what STOL is, you can find it out right here. We're going to go ahead and cue that video up for you guys to find out what is STOL. Why do we love it?
Takeoff and landing competitions are simple. We have the pilots here competing in separate classes to get the lowest score possible. As you see behind me, we have the start-finish line, so let's start with the takeoff.
This runway is marked with a start-finish line, and as a competitor parks their main gear on the line, they apply power and position their aircraft to get off the ground as soon as possible. Once their main gear leaves the ground, a line judge will mark their takeoff score using the measuring line along the side. This score will be added to the pilot's landing score on this heat. The landing is in two parts. It's either over the line and counted, or if the pilot's main gear touches down before the line, or even touches the line, this heat score is scratched and results on a landing disqualification, and the pilot will have to rely on another takeoff and landing score to get them on the podium. A quick look at our aircraft shows we have two types of landing gear: tricycle and tail draggers. On the tail dragger aircraft, the score is marked from the two main wheels toward the front of the airplane. And for tricycle landing gear, the score is marked by the two main gear in the rear of the aircraft. It's a fierce competition out here, but at the end of the day, it's all about building better and safer pilots in the skies.
It's a great day for STOL competitions. Let's get it started.
So now we know what is STOL. Now that you guys have figured
right.
that out, we are going to be introducing the touring class. Today, the touring class is going to be kicking butt and taking names. We have a few people that we've seen before, and it looks like a new person today. So good to see someone new. The new person is flying the Mall M7. So AvGeek Amal. Don't know much about him yet, but I'm sure we'll figure out some more about him as we watch him fly in today's touring class. And if you want to, Cam, take away and introduce us to our touring class, I'd be glad to have you do that.
All right, so we've rated number 942 round up from Southeast Kentucky flying the Wilga ADP. Got it's number 39P in the Havilland 2B for Germany. Number 96 at Kikamal or Amal. We'll figure that out. Mall M7 from Bartow, Florida, and number 92 Fredson, Alaska, also in the Wilga from, of course, Alaska, USA.
I think it cut out kind of a little bit. It's the internet is very choppy, Cam, and I hate to see that internet being choppy, but I don't know if anybody can understand what Cam's saying. Is there any way we can maybe restart the internet there, Cam, to get you back? Because we need you.
Oh,
Okay, so while Cam is having a couple of internet problems, we are unable to hear Cam, so I'll introduce everybody through... I'll introduce everybody until Cam gets back. We're going to go ahead and watch them guys pull up. I think it's all guys in the touring class today, so we'll see. We're going to watch them pull up and introduce the planes as they come by. You know the drill, boys and girls. We'll take a look at the liveries. And as always, any livery for me, as I do love the old rugged flag, as it is shown on Brown Dog's livery. We've got the American flag livery right on the tail, Brown Dog. Taxis by number 942, one of the top competitors in the touring class, consistently taking home number ones. We know Brown Dog is hot and heavy on the throttle. He doesn't mess around. He just takes names and takes gold trophies home to Mrs. Brown Dog. As we all know, Miss Brown Dog is probably in the chat cheering him on. We love to see everybody cheering on everybody else. Everybody's got their favorite. So in the chat, I want to see your favorite pilot for the touring class. If you're in here rooting for one of those guys, please let us know in the chat. Say hello. Don't be afraid. Don't forget to smack that like button as well, because when you like and when you share, that kind of stuff gets National STOL out to more people. And I don't know about you, but when I first found out about National STOL, the first thing I wanted to do was holler at everybody who didn't tell me about it, because I felt like 31 or 32 years on the earth, not knowing about National STOL was not good. Should have known about it earlier. So make sure you share that with everybody so nobody's mad at you for not sharing that with them. Cedric P., next guy on the list, love the Brondo livery. This is the livery that he puts special messages to the announcer, so that way I remember which movie it was from. And if we could get a little closer to that livery so I can remember which movie that livery is from. Because I didn't put it to memory. Because when you got Cedric reminding me, I might not have to put it to memory. I don't remember the movie again. Well, so be it. I think I'll remember it later. But Cedric P., another great contributor to the fun that we have at National STOL, does a lot on the back end for us. Still flying, has the time, manages to find the time to do all that stuff, and then still fly in the tournaments. Cedric was a great contributor because he made a tool.
Yeah, and coming up here is one of our new guys. This is Geek Amal, and he is rocking a modified version of the National STOL, National eSTOL livery. Yeah, so this is, and that's it, guys. Anyone can come and join us. Get yourself trained up, and you can be in the same position here, sat ready for your first competition, on the lineup in front of everybody.
And Kat, how do they do that? Where do they got to go if they want to join us?
So if they want to join us, they want to go to nationalstol.com/chat and come and join the Discord.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what Amal has done there. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has to show. I've seen some of his practices and think it's going to be entertaining.
Yeah, I was wondering if you knew anything about the new guy, because I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him practice or anything like that. But Kat, I know you're in the community constantly and helping out in many, many ways, more than one. So you've seen him practicing. You think he's going to do a good job today? We'll see how that goes. I love to see new people come in and do well.
Yeah, absolutely. And up next, we have Frozen Alaskan, who has been with us for quite a while now. And as you see on his flaps, it says, "Fly good, don't suck." So,
yes,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, you better be flying good, because this is a competition that, a lot of people can fly bush. They can fly in the backcountry. They can, maybe they can land, like a twin engine plane out at Dewey Moore. But when you, obviously in the flight sim, I would not try that in real life. But when you have to land on the line, that is where you're putting it on the line. And you want to put it after the line, of course, to make sure that it counts, because if not, it'd be a scratch. But when you figuratively put it all on the line when you're flying with National eSTOL, that's one of the things that makes it the hardest, is that you have to get as close to the line as possible, because as you saw in our video about what is STOL, you don't want to be giving up anything over the line, and you surely don't want to be landing before or on the line, because you're going to be giving up the entire flight around the block. So it is definitely a little bit harder than your regular bush flying. But if you are a good bush flyer, then you do what Kitty Cat said. Join in. Come on to the Discord and join in. Become one of our pilots. So as we have Brown Dog on the line, we await the green flag. I think Cam maybe have come back, but I think now I'm seeing his video is frozen. So Cat, it's going to be you and me today for now.
Yeah, for now. It's not
And
a
I'm
problem.
glad that race control reminded me that you were there, because I was kind of filling all the space and I didn't even realize that you were going to be there. I think it was mentioned, but I missed it. So I'm glad to know that you're here. Race control on top of things as always. And we do have the green flag.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Brown Dog so far this year is leading the championship. So let's see if he can, second to last round, let's see if he can wrap this one up.
Yeah, and phenomenal job Brown Dog does. You know, I mean, he's able to rally people around him. And first and foremost, Miss Brown Dog, she's here for every single event. She's always cheering him on. And it's great to see, because I think that's part of, you know, why he's doing so good, because he has his, you know, significant other there in the chat, always hooting and hollering. And I think that's what really cheers him on. So don't be bashful to cheer on your favorite pilot. And the
here we
roar
go.
of the beautiful radials. So what do you make of that takeoff, Kat? What do you think?
That takeoff. I think actually that looked like it went fairly long, but we do have winds of almost nothing at the moment. So, and on top of that, as I'm sure you remember with Brown Dog scores, we won't actually get the score for a little while.
Right, and you know, we do have high heat today. We do have you know, we are at sea level, so that's not a factor here today, or close to sea level anyway. But we have high heat. We have very little wind to no wind today, so it's gonna be one of those days where the pilots have to try extra hard. They don't get any boost from the wind. As Josh Groban would say, the wind will not raise them up.
Here we go.
So the
This
Mall
is
M7.
Very first round.
Interestingly enough, I was responsible for a package that was made for the Mall M7, and they asked me if they could use it and put it into the official plane, and I said absolutely. So I spent a little bit of time kind of working on the Mall M7 to make it, there's just a couple little things missing from it, so it's good to see the Mall M7 coming in here and being somewhat competitive. I don't think anybody has won in the Mall M7 yet, so we'll see if AvGeek Amal can change that today. Kat says he was doing
absolutely.
good in practice, so. So Frozen Alaskan, another interesting character here. He's a real pilot. He flies in Alaska, and he is always tending to do well in his competitions as well. So the touring class really have some heavy hitters.
So that's the first four pilots up for the touring class, and now they'll be performing the orchestrated dance that we do here at eSTOL, and coming in now will be Brown Dog for his first landing.
So as the wings settle in, nearing the ground, we have Brown Dog. As Kat just mentioned, Brown Dog is the #1 points holder for this season.
Oh.
Shuts the engine off mid-air. Doesn't skip a beat.
That is one of Brown Dog's one of his patented moves. He does like to shut that engine off. But doing that in the air over the line, that was a brave move.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, he's about 10 feet off the ground, and, I don't know all the rules of, IRL aviation, but I know sometimes that is, and eSTOL definitely is a great tactic because you're getting rid of any thrust that you may have coming into the line. So But you know, one of the interesting things is it adds another, and a nice landing from Cedric P. Right on the money.
That touchdown from Cedric was only 2 feet over the line. That was clean.
2 feet over the line. I don't know if you can get much better than that. Wow, 2 feet over the line, a stopping distance of 185 and a vertical speed of negative 320. Basically fluffing it down to the runway.
Now on his first landing, I think he was being quite conservative. He brought a lot of horizontal energy into that. And he's got it stopped. And also, there is talk in the pits of the first round nose over, and he has managed to avoid that. So that is excellent work from him.
Yes, excellent work. I think playing it safe on your first round, though, for Amal, I think it's a good idea because you can get points on the board, and what do we all want? We all want points on the board. Well, points on the board as far as a landing. So it doesn't mean that they'll get any points for the season, even though the touring class is a little light today, so we have probably everybody will get points for the season, but will they be the max amount of points, or will it be not? That's the question. That's what they're fighting for here today. Frozen Alaskan comes in. That big bounce is not actually real. It's just something. It's a something that happens in the sim. So don't worry about the big bounce. It's not.
He did come in very heavy on that.
Yeah. What do you have for a V speed on that one, Cat? It looks like I have a negative 851. Yeah. So that is a hard landing. It is a hard landing, and so he'll have to rethink his landing there. He'll rethink that landing because that is one heck of a hard landing for sure. So, round number 2.
In for a much.
Go ahead, Kat.
I was just saying, Frozen tends to come in for quite a high landing. Like a lot of people, some people want to bring it in low. Across the grass and then drop it at the last moment. Some people like to come in high and bring that energy in and try to convert it into vertical energy. So he's definitely one of the latter. And it is interesting to see both methods used here. Ooh, Brown Dog, leaking it off. And Brown Dog also is one of our trainers. So if you want to get trained to do this and to join in, then Brown Dog is one of the men who could help you out with that.
Nice, interesting. So Brown Dog is one of the ambassadors doing training. I like to see it. Yeah, that's one of the best things about eSTOL is that we really take care of new people, and we don't forget about our regulars, our everyday flyers. But new people, they definitely get a lot of help when they come into eSTOL because we're going to make sure they know how to do this and safely. Because even though it is eSTOL, not real life, we do like to make sure that we're setting a good example for anybody that may go into flying in the future. So it's important to keep safety at the forefront, even on eSTOL.
Absolutely. And Cedric's last takeoff there was only 1 foot, was within 1 foot of his previous one, so he has got that dialed in. And a mile 256 that time. He is dropping his distance, so I think he's now putting the foot down. He's already one of us, and the competitive spirit is taking over.
So we have the lineup here: Brown Dog at 314 for a total, Cedric P at 397, Frozen Alaskan 449, and AvGK at 597. And Kat, what'd you see there?
Frozen Alaskan almost winging it over. On takeoff. I believe he was attempting to do what I call It's how Brown Dog cocks one of cocks a leg for takeoff, and I think Brown Dog was trying to do. Frozen was trying to do the same there, and the wind definitely caught up under his wing there.
Yeah, maybe we did have a little gust of wind come through. I don't know how the weather is over in Texas, where Lonestar still takes place, but I'd imagine being probably closer to the ocean than many other places, you could have varying winds over there. So, and this does go by live weather. So everything you're seeing here is a place in the real world. It's a live weather. And so whatever weather is on the sim here is definitely the weather in the world. Weather is pulled up there on the edge of the screen if you're interested in checking out the winds and the humidity and all that stuff. Brought to you by Defieth.
Sorry to interrupt you talking about the weather there, but that landing was phenomenal. Did you see Brown Dog dragging that tail? That was excellent to watch.
He did that last event too, and I'm like, you know, you always got to remind people that is a legal move. Legal move, so it means that's absolutely fine. He can do it, but it's not often seen because it's actually really hard to do.
Oh, and Steffi gets it stopped short as well. Oh, that is an excellent landing from Steffi. A little bit of a balloon, but he's down. Get us stopped. Brakes, more brakes. His feet will be all the way into the carpet there, and got stopped. Absolutely excellent fun to watch. Pros on the circuit, and looks like we might still issues with Cam. And you see there, he's slightly crabbing it into the wind, doing what's called a side slip. That's to try to take advantage of any little breath of crosswinds that we have. Gets it down. Oh, quite a long roll on that. I can tell you as a pilot, even though that was ludicrously short at only 284 feet, he'll still be in that cockpit, disappointed and kicking himself a lot.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they're so competitive, and you know, it's just a sim, but at the same time, these guys and gals take this so seriously, and I think it's important too, because you know, you're not going to see people doing as well. They're not being super competitive. They need to be super competitive and take it very seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. And conditions are getting tougher. We just had note that we're currently looking at a 5-knot tailwind.
So we do have from race control, Cam is out for the day. His internet is not cooperating with him. So we are going to be having Kat in Cam's place. Kat was going to be here anyway, but Kat is now taking over the second broadcaster position. And so she's going to be doing that and the interviews today. So big thank you to Kat for taking the time to do this for us when Cam is not able to be here. I mean, he is, but his internet isn't. So and there's nothing we can do about that.
Not a problem. And another super short takeoff, even with that tailwind.
So I do have the YouTube chat up, and I just wanted to say hi to everybody. We have Link K. Johnson in the chat, Subliminal Black, MP Troll, the John J, Miss Brown Dog Audio. She's here, of course. Foxfly Studio, Super Aero, Frozen Alaska, Red Baron Modeling. You know, Red Baron, I think he should model on a fireman calendar. He is one beautiful man, beautiful human being, and he's a pilot and a mechanic, so I think they should definitely be modeling. Or is that not the type of modeling that you do, Red Baron? Please let me know. NorCali Touring is showing Tailwind on the runway. Tailwind on the runway. Yeah, so Tailwind, if you guys don't know much about aviation and you're just here because you randomly saw this, well, tailwinds are really never good. That's why aircraft carriers fly in the direction of wind. You know, you want the wind being blown at you, because that's going to be the easiest way that your wings can be raised up high upon a mountain.
And just to let you know that Avgi Kamal unfortunately had a bit of a taxi accident, and he is going back to the pits to check that prop, get the mechanics on it, make sure everything's okay. So he's done his runs for today. But for the final run, here comes Frozen. Oh, and he got it off good that time. That was a great takeoff. That last takeoff on Frozen was only 2 feet. Was 2 feet shorter than Cedric's, and then Brown Dog comes along and somehow does it 70 feet shorter than that.
So still, the
Does
scores
look
are
like
looking
he-
pretty great. Scores brought to you by Anoff Flight Sim. You can find his work in the shops on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. But still Brown Dog in the lead with 314 total. Cedric P with 382 total. Frozen A, Alaskan with 449 total. And Avgeek A, the new guy, 597. So pretty good for a new guy.
Gonna start? Oh yes, there you go. An engine stop as well. That's his patented engine stop, that is, and I think it works.
Yeah, I do. I think it works great. I've seen people do it in the real life. You know, in the IRL National STOL. People like Hal Stockton, I've seen do that. So you know, it's a real thing. But I've never seen anybody take it to the level that Brown Dog has, and I think it's works out for him. As you can see, he's number one.
Absolutely.
Brown Dog number one. Such a P with a great landing. A lot of energy stopped in that final break, but still managed to keep the tail down.
And in that 5-knot tail, like it doesn't sound like 5-knot tail is much, but that will really push you along and really scoot you down the runway. It can be very difficult, especially as most of the time when we're training either in a crosswind or a headwind, because we can always change the runway whenever we like. But when it comes to competition, the runway doesn't change during the middle of a class. We're likely to change the runway at the end of this class, quite possibly, but during the middle, and so you can end up in these situations where you're suddenly fighting. And a stop of 226.
I would imagine,
Frozen
you know,
Alaska
unless it
there.
got, you know, dangerous or something, they wouldn't be changing the wind, or excuse me, changing the runway. So they're going to have to fight through this tailwind, like Kat said. 5 knots doesn't sound like much, but 5 knots one way is, you know, if you think about it, if you're trying to, even a 5-knot headwind is very modest, and so it's almost 10 knots to the detriment of the pilots, if you think about it.
So we'll likely do a runway change now in between the classes. We just don't do it halfway through a class.
Absolutely. I mean, and that adds to, I think it adds to the interest of it, because I mean, if everybody was just flying with a headwind all day long, I mean, sure, that would be great, but I like to see the pilots fighting through some divergence. There we have 80K on the screen. He's checking out his computers, making sure everybody's doing their part as he's doing his many parts. I don't know what
Okay,
that
and
is. A
now we
framed
have
photo.
the results. Do you want to go through the results?
Absolutely. So, let me see here. I've got to... Actually, Kat, you might have to do it because I can't see my screen right now. So could you take that over for
Yeah,
me?
not a problem. So, in first place, we have Brown Dog with a combined score of 282, which, considering the conditions, is still just absolutely mind-blowing. Next up, Cedric P, not in a beaver, in a Wilga, and he has a score of 382, so exactly 100 feet more. Frozen Alaskan nipping at his heels at 428. And Amal, unfortunately, suffering from the curse of the first time nose over, but still got some scores on the board, 597. Very, very respectable anymore.
Yeah, definitely, because at least he's got points on the board in his first competition. You know, I guess not being completely disqualified, he still scores and still gets some scores, still gets some points for the year. He's well behind everybody else because he's joining in on the last regular season event. We still have the finals coming up in a few weeks from now, but the last main season event, that's today. So Kat, what a great touring class. I don't think we were surprised that Brown Dog took the lead and took the win. Very interesting character Brown Dog is. I mean, he's practicing, you know, probably more than many people. So, but, you know, you got to think he's probably very, very good at what he does. He looks good at what he does. He probably even smells good. We'll have to ask, you know, Miss Brown Dog about that, but I would imagine he probably does everything pretty darn good.
Absolutely, and he is in love with that aircraft. The Wilga 80P, it's entirely his aircraft. I don't think I've seen him fly anything else. He is the Wilga man. Absolutely.
Yes, the Wilga Beast. He is the Wilga Beast. So Brown Dog, congrats on that. Cedric P, the second place. Frozen Alaskan, the third place. And then fourth place, the new guy, Abdi Amal. And look at that, you got Versix and Ryan in the booth there. So coming up next, backcountry class, Byron Bowman. He's going to be running. And by the way, he is not actually that kind of model. So I think it's a different kind of model. Anyway, Byron Bowman, Robin DR400S at Kentucky, flying the really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choice. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, it looks like he swapped out a plate.
I'm happy to see it flying out of Kentucky, U.S. We have LBR Gaming in the Coronado 170B flying out of Arkansas, U.S. We have Quentin LaGrange. I don't know why, but that always reminds me of like that song by ZZ Top. So, Rans S6S flying out of Johannesburg, South Africa. So that's really where he is, flying from there. Captain Butters, we know from a few past competitions. He's flying the Rans S6S as well from Tonsberg, Norway. So a couple of non-U.S. people flying in here, and we love it because this is what eSTOL does. It brings together everybody from around the world who can fly from any country, from anywhere, as long as you can, you know, I don't know what the time difference is, you know, from Norway to America, but we fly 2 p.m. in America on the Eastern time zone. So if you can be awake at that time, then you can fly with us. So if you're wherever you are, nationalstol.com/chat, join the Discord, get a hold of some of the pilots. They'll teach you anything you still need to know, and then boom, you can be flying right along.
Indeed, worldwide.
So the backcountry class.
I am deeply interested to see how Byron does with the Robin. I know he is absolutely in love with the Coronado, so with the 170B, and he was always a little upset when we had to take away his previous version that he had, and he had to use the Coronado one because we changed the rules that everything had to be releasable on Marketplace. And so yeah, this whole season he's been trying with it, but it's interesting to see towards the end he's now trying something different. I can't wait to see it. And I do love seeing a low wing. It's something you don't see very often in the STOL competition, and it warms my heart to see such things. And it is a very pretty plane.
Yeah, it is. You see that in National STOL, the real life competition. You see that. There's a few guys that fly. I think there's a couple low wing planes every once in a while, and it's always a little different than your high wing, bush boy aircraft. And so it's pretty cool to see that plane. Well, I don't know how it's going to do. I've never even thought to fly this plane, so I don't know.
I've flown it on occasions. I think he may struggle to be competitive with it, but it's his Byron Bowman we were talking about. He can fly the wings off of most things. So up next is LBR Gaming. I just wanted to touch on the amazing paint job of LBRs here, the Gulf Racing colours.
Yeah, I love them.
LBR now has been with us for, well, I think over a year now with us. So, yeah, seeing these faces again and again is always amazing. Seeing new guys coming in and talking off. We have Quentin LaGrange. And that is a very colourful Rams. The Rams recently changed, which because it used to be in an unlimited class, and it's now being dropped back down to backcountry to bring it more into line with the performance that it has. So it'll be very interesting to see.
I do love the Rans S success. A lot of love has been put into that plane over the years. We're still patiently awaiting the successor to that plane from the same developer, the Rans S21.
We now have another Rans success, but you'll notice a bit of a difference to this one. This one has the nose wheel, so it's going to be fun seeing the difference between nose draggers and tail draggers.
I love that, nose draggers. I think that's a great thing to call them, because it's like it makes just enough sense not to make sense, but everybody that knows exactly what it is, and it's just that nose wheel. Even though you're technically dragging it, because if you're propelled from a fore of the wheel, then you would technically be dragging it. So, yeah, you are 100% right. It is a nose dragger.
Absolutely. And LBR in the chat letting us know he's only missed the first two competitions. So he's been with us since the first two competitions. I know he's been around for a while.
And who was that?
LBR, Little Black Rain Cloud.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, LBR has been around a long time.
On the line now, waiting for the green flag, Byron Bowman in the Robin DR400. The Piperzilla of STOL this week.
We do have an update from the YouTube chat. Miss Brown Dog says he does. Mr. Brown Dog, the Brown Dog, always smells amazing. So I was correct. He does everything good, and he smells amazing. And that wasn't just a guess.
Green flag from Race Control.
I may know things. So you heard it from Kat. We've got the green flag, and the first one up is that Robin. So no suspense there. We're not going to have to wait any longer to find out how Brown Dog is going to be competing. We're going to know in short order how that Robin's going to fare along this competition.
It feels like it's a slow lift off. Oh, he gets it off before the end. There we go. That's in some of the slower planes. That's the competition. If you can get it up within the 600 feet, and he does.
I wonder, did he try this plane before deciding on using it? And only jokes, no shade thrown at Red Baron. We love Red Baron. We do. And so I'm wondering if he maybe was banking on wind or something like that. Maybe he would perform a little better in the wind.
So we have a black flag. I'm not sure if he had some sort of malfunction in the sim or just didn't get enough wind underneath those wings. We have a black flag for LBR.
LBR does scratch the wing on the edge, so it looks like he'll be disqualified from the event. When we do take things seriously, we want to make sure that if you are scratching your wings on the ground, that you're going to be scratching your head wondering, what did I do? Where did I go wrong? And really thinking about safety.
Butters taking off, and it's interestingly those two takeoffs were within a few feet of each other, so whether you're a nose dragger or a tail dragger doesn't seem to make too much difference on takeoff. Let's see if landings will separate the fronts from the backs.
Yeah, that's really where you see a lot of the, in most classes, that's where you'll see a lot of difference, like with the Mauls and the Wilgas. You'll see a lot of kind of the back end or the front end of those where they kind of lack against the other ones, and so the Wilga will typically beat the Maul, but they're very similar in certain phases of flight or certain phases of takeoff and landing.
So here we have Byron Bowman coming in, first landing in the Robin. Gets it dropped, and he'll be hard on those brakes, slamming that nose wheel in, burying all that energy into the ground, and he gets it stopped. That looked fun. If anything else, that looked fun.
These round of scores brought to you by Stefiev, one of the premier livery painters. I have plenty of his liveries, and I fly them regularly.
Absolutely. He also is the one who brings us the fabulous eSTOL tool. That means that we can get these amazing scores for you as well.
Quentin LaGrange coming around in the S6S. This is the tail dragger variant. Quentin LaGrange. We'll see how he'll do. I've seen him fly with us before. I know the name. I know he's been around. So we should see a pretty good performance. But, this is one of the classes that I think this class relies a lot on wind because there's not a lot of engine power. So when you don't have all that thrust, the wind is a great helper. But as you know, today we have barely any wind.
Oh,
nice landing.
That's a good start. That's a good touchdown. And a stop of 155.
Yeah, great touchdown. I think that was one of the best we've seen so far from the Rans S6S. Touchdown distance at 25, so he does give up about 25 feet, but I managed to get it stopped in 155 total over the line, so that's the best score we've seen except for Brown Dogs, actually. So, competing with the other class, competing with the touring class. That's interesting. Not literally, though. I mean, obviously, they're not the same class, but just looking at previous scores and comparing.
Captain Butters giving up a little bit more extra distance, but still getting it stopped very quick. So having a quick look at the meter while we were going and resetting position. It looks like we've got a crosswind of around about 4 knots at the moment. And as it says there on the screen, get yourself trained by It's Norcali. We'll see Norcali fly later on. Always fun watching him fly.
Yeah, stop into the Twitch there on the screen and you'll be able to see one of the best STOL pilots in the business. Been around since the first competition. And if you just ask him, hey, check it out. Let me see how you do STOL.
Absolutely. And looking again at the chat, Hangar Studios with a donation of 20 bucks. So we really appreciate that. That will definitely help. And he's saying, did you see the Scouts landing last week in National STOL? Absolutely, I did. I think that thing was more helicopter than plane at one point. The angle of attack on that was crazy. Talking of crazy, here comes Byron Bowman trying to do STOL in a plane that just isn't really built for it, but he's going to do it anyway. Is he going to get off before the end of the runway?
Yeah, I wonder how those pitched up wings near, halfway through the wing, I wonder how those pitched up wings help or hurt his STOL competition there, because it seems to me like it...
I'm not sure how they affect the STOL. I do know they help with the stability of the aircraft.
Absolutely. So maybe, maybe in one way it helps.
Oh, he is up much quicker than before. So maybe he was just sandbagging that first round.
He may have touched back down. We'll have to check and see.
I'm checking the tool and I'm not seeing a touchback down. That's a takeoff of 455. And Quinton initially lifts off. He does touch a little bit back down, and still a very respectable distance of 295.
Yeah, great distance there, 295. So originally he took off at 169, but he wasn't quite ready to fly yet. Didn't have the speed needed under the wings, the wind needed under the wings, the speed. So he lost about 100 feet on that. 130 feet or so by touching back down, but once he touched back down and got back up in the sky, he was good to go.
Captain
but he could have had a better
taking
score.
It off. Yeah, no, absolutely. And Captain Bud is showing that he could have a better score because he's just took off at 216 feet. That is the shortest takeoff for the Ranzers this round. So maybe Nose Dragger is the way to go. We have 2 more landings and 1 more takeoff to find out.
Yeah, I think the nose draggers are interesting. It changes the angle. So it changes the angle of which the wing sits on takeoff. And so you'd think, well, it doesn't add as much lift to the wing, but you can probably speed up faster and get to flying speed faster.
Reduced drag. Yeah.
Definitely. So I think maybe that is a big plus for him, and that's why you see that, as Kat mentioned, the best takeoff of this round.
Ooh, that looked like it was fun.
Yeah, that does look like a lot of fun. I mean, that low wing is just...
And that
it's so
is
hard to see
actually
it,
that is a very respectable landing at 265.
Yeah, you can't be mad at that. If you're Byron Bowman, you're not shaking your head. You're not shaking your fist. You're just tapping your foot to the music and flying along.
Yeah,
Quentin LaGrange looking beautiful. Look at the birds back behind, flying around in the beautiful skies in Texas today. Some may say Texas is one of the greatest states there is. I don't know. For me, it's too hot. You get all dressed up in Texas. You go put on some nice clothes, and then you're like, I need to walk to get a haircut. You go get a haircut, you come back, and you're drenched because it's so humid and it's so hot. But maybe it's because I'm from Michigan.
Watch it. Careful. Oh, he
Wow.
was modulating those brakes there the whole way down the runway.
That's
That
the key,
was,
folks.
yeah, absolutely. I feel like he'll be picking out bits of bits of his seat from his bum for a while. That looked like tension time. That was
Absolutely. And
that was
that's pure
interesting.
skill. Pure skill right there. You're able to work those brakes like that, and I think a lot of times when people nose over, you know, especially like if they're out in the backcountry and they hit a rock or they hit a little bump or something like that. I mean, when you hit a bump, you come up off the ground a little bit on landing, and then you touch back down and you're still hammering on the brakes. You're gonna nose over. That's the way it goes. But if you know how to work and modulate the brakes like that, I don't know if you'll have trouble with nosing over, because that was perfect, folks.
Drops it in nice. Oh, and he is hard on the brakes as well. But this time he's got a nose wheel to stop him from nosing over. And that is an amazing landing of 165. So far, the answer seems to be stick your wheel on the front, not in the back.
Yeah, and it's a shame because he's giving away the secrets. You know, he's giving away the secrets right here. So I think that maybe we'll see other people in the nose wheel, because you know, you can still nose over in a nose wheel, but you have to be really irresponsible to do that. And I mean, I've seen it happen as a former Twitch streamer. I used to stream all the time, and I would have people fly with me. And trust me, I've seen things you wouldn't believe. But so yes, you can nose over in a nose wheel, but it's not pretty. It's even less pretty than when you nose over in a tail dragger. So, final lap at the Lonestar eSTOL, brought to you today. The score is brought to you for this round here by Stepiath. Livery painter, does some beautiful work. So Captain B coming in at 381, Quentin L nipping at the heels at 394, and Byron B just doing his thing. He's like, I don't even care. I'm not here to compete. I just want to look cool in this beautiful Robin. So he's like, hey,
Absolutely.
720.
And he's up before the end. And it might not be the quickest way to get in the air, but it definitely looks cool.
Yeah, I think this plane would be a riot in the sky. He's probably having just as much fun in the pattern as anyone else. And he's just getting dangerously close to touching back down, but again, does not do that, does not touch back down, so he's safe. And what a great camera view. Big shout outs to the camera operators. Those guys do wonderful work.
And that there was also the shortest takeoff of the class so far. So it looks like Quentin is saying no to the nose wheel supremacy and is showing it up for the tail wheels.
Is
Unfortunately,
Captain
on
B,
that takeoff, Captain Butters
B
did not
in?
quite make it.
Okay. Nope. Captain B.
So it's all going to come down to this final landing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that Rans S6S though, one thing about that plane is it feels really great in the air. It did from day one, you know, and as much work has been put in on that plane since the initial release. It's a wonderful plane.
Yeah, it definitely is one of those planes that just feels nice to fly. Absolutely.
Yeah, you get that feeling even in the simulator. You get that feeling of like lift or suspension, I would call it. And it's just like, you know, it's kind of like phantom pain when you lose a limb, but you still feel like you have a limb there. People wonder, like, well, how do you get that feeling in the sim? It's like, well, it's the same theory. You don't really have a limb if you are having phantom pain when somebody loses a limb, but you still have a feeling of that. And so when I say you have the feeling of suspension or lift, it's just
dragging his tail in. A red Baron there, just dragging that tail in. He came across that grass, just clipping that grass the whole way down. That was some very impressive flying.
Yeah, and the airport's going to have to send him a check for cutting the grass, because that's what he just did right there.
have to say I do love the amazing camera work done by our camera pilots, Red Heron and DeWart. The work that they do to bring us these shots. You wouldn't know that you're in a drone. You would think that you are in a drone at the competition last week. Here he comes, bringing in low, cuts the power, gets her stopped. There you go, a 176. That was good, and with his good first round as well, that might be enough.
Yeah, I mean, only giving up 16 foot. That's the least amount given up in this entire backcountry class so far. So that's the closest landing that we've seen as far as my stats on the screen here show. Justin Rivers 5397 says, how do you qualify for this event? So there really isn't any qualifying. You know, if you just join if you go to nationalstol.com/chat, you can join in the Discord there and reach out to one of the pilots there. They're called ambassador pilots, I think is what they're called. Reach out to one of those guys and there's also a race control. Can you repeat what that was there? Oh, link is on the screen. Yeah, you can snap that QR code right there. That will take you right where they need to go. Beautiful landing from Captain Butters, getting her stopped.
And on top of that, Foxfly Studio, as ever, one of the amazing people here at eSTOL, providing all those details for you to join up.
Very fancy. Very fancy. Request training. I like it.
And I just want to say, the last score, I saw Captain Butters landing while you were explaining that, and his landing was amazing. And that last score has just absolutely, it's even shorter than the rest. Unfortunately, his takeoff wasn't, but let's go to the scores.
Yeah, interestingly enough, you know, Captain Butters with the lowest score, and you'd think with a name like Captain Butters, he'd be slipping and sliding down the runway, but no, it's like he's anti-butter because he has no butter on the wheels, only butter on the landings. Captain Butters winning the event here today.
Absolutely.
Gotta love the livery, too. I mean, you can't go wrong with the National eSTOL livery. Beautiful view of the race track there. We got scores coming up for backcountry as we speak. Captain Butters with a best takeoff of 216, best landing of 150, just nudging out the landing with Quentin LaGrange there. So very close scores, 381, separated only by 7 feet. Quentin LaGrange with a best run of 388. Byron Bowman, longtime flyer, longtime competitor, 720 feet in the Robin DR 400. So maybe he picked the plane before he decided to try it on the STOL field. I don't know. He knows what he's doing. He's no fool. This guy's smart as can be, so maybe he just wanted to have fun today. But no shade,
I
we
think
love
he
him.
just wanted to have fun for the penultimate round.
And that's what it's all about. For many people, that's what it's all about, you know. Me, I have to be competitive. That's why, you know, I just don't even do it anymore, because if I did, it would be unfair, I think. Not because I'm so good, but because, you know, being part of the team, I don't want to be anyone thinking I'm fudging the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't do it. People have asked me, though, you know, they say, why don't you guys get together and do a, you know, you and Cam and Kat and everybody, you know, why don't you guys get together and do an eSTOL employee, you know, or whatever you want to call it, competition where, you know, the pilots would run the deal and then we would fly. But it's like, I don't know about that. I don't know.
No, I don't know. I maybe it's. I think maybe in time that could be good.
So we are going to have a little bit of an interview Kat is going to interview one of our pilots, and it is Wes. So we're going to see what Wes has to say with this pilot interview. Kat's going to be doing it, so interesting. I'll be here waiting and listening for the interview with Wes.
And there we go. Hi, Wes. Hi. Oh, we're just waiting for Wes's audio to come in. Wes?
Can you hear me now?
There we go. We've got you now. Hi. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome.
Right, awesome.
Excellent. So, Wes, I wanted to start by asking you, actually, not so much about eSTOL stuff, but about what you did last weekend. So, could you tell us what you got up to last weekend?
Last weekend was Lonestar National STOL. It's my hometown airport, and it's right down the road from me and everything. And I shout out to Tom in National STOL and said, "Hey, if y'all need some help, I'm ready to go. If you need me." And so he said, "Come on." And I planned on attending the Lonestar STOL, regardless, but I just had the opportunity to go help out. And Tom brought me in, and they went ahead and threw me on the production side and gave me a microphone and a camera and said, "Go interview those pilots and have a good time." And that's exactly what I did. I couldn't have had a better time. And building that rapport with all the pilots and getting to interview them and learn about National STOL and how they work and how just wildly crazy that event is. It was just a absolute amazing time. I hope to do it more often, and next season I hope to be at every event. So as long as they'll have me, I'll be there.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. After having a taste, are you wanting to go back?
Oh yeah, I'm foaming at the mouth. I had too much fun. Anything aviation, getting to be on the flight line and be in the pits with the pilots and up close personal with the planes and everything that they're doing to compete in National STOL and what they do in real life is just, it's unbelievable. And some of those classes, like the adventure class and stuff, the mods that they're doing to these planes are just absolutely insane. And you saw Mike Babcock's his Badlands plane. It's I can't explain how insane that plane is. And just everything that they're doing, it's so amazing to get up close and personal and see what they're doing. And next season's going to be even wilder. There's going to be a Norden with mods that have never been done to a Norden that we're going to see next season. And I can't wait to see how that plane performs in the unlimited class. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. And all the people at National STOL, I just have to put out there and say, thank you so much for allowing me to come and be a part of that. Karen, Tom, Eric, there's, ADK, everyone there, all the camera guys, B-Dog, Brown Dog was there. It was unbelievable. And I had a blast, and I just can't thank them so much for letting me be there. And I absolutely cannot wait to get to the next one.
So would you, if somebody was on the edge about coming out to see, would you encourage that? Would you encourage them? And if they were thinking about volunteering, what would you say to somebody who was thinking of volunteering?
Volunteering is so much fun. All the volunteers that I met and talked with and was around, they had a blast. And getting to stand out there on the runway and mark the landings and be that close to the impact zone of those planes landing is wild. And so being a volunteer at National STOL is it's probably one of the most fun things you could do. Going to a National STOL event and volunteering for the event is absolute blast, and you get taken care of. And it's if I wasn't on the production side, in front of a camera, I'd probably be out there, marking landings and takeoffs and stuff, because that's the best seat in the house. So volunteering is amazing. But if you just want to go witness a National STOL event, if there's one that's within driving range of where you live, you absolutely need to go, because it's insane to get to see what those pilots are capable of and what their planes can do and how they control those planes. So yeah, definitely get out there and go to a National STOL event. I cannot explain completely on this interview. It would take me an hour to explain how amazing it is, but just go and be a part of it. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely. And for those who aren't able to go and do that, what would you say about joining us here at eSTOL?
eSTOL's amazing. It's a direct emulation to the real thing, and we strive here at eSTOL to do just like they do in National STOL, and it is very, very realistic to the real thing. And it's so realistic we've had the FAA called on us before, and so it's just
yes, we have.
It's that good of a program. eSTOL is a competition that anyone can do, as long as they have an Xbox or a PC and they love flight simulator and flying. Come be a part of eSTOL. Come compete. I was that guy. I was flying in the simulator and found you and eSTOL, and you brought me in and trained me, and now I'm here competing, and I'm part of National STOL and just doing all this stuff, and it's absolutely amazing, and I couldn't be happier, and I would encourage anyone and everyone, if you're on Microsoft Flight Simulator, come compete. Come try to beat me or anybody else. Just come try it out.
Talking of competing, I hear you're in the round. You're in the round next. Is that right?
Yep. Unlimited class is up next. I am in competition mode right now. I'm hopefully going to do good. I'm trying to make this interview as long as possible so the wind will pick up a little bit. So, because my plane flies great in the wind, and earlier we had 0 wind, and now it seems to be kind of coming in. So hopefully I can pull out another win from the Music City STOL. I got lucky with the win there and got a really good score, and ended up with the win 2 weeks ago, and hopefully we're going to do back-to-back. I'm going to try my best, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, no worries. So I'm going to let you go, get your fuel checks done, get everything ready. Make sure you've got a few moments to get yourself race ready, and we're going to go on through to an advert.
Thank you so much. Peace out.
No worries. Thank you for coming.
Welcome to On Air Airline Manager, where the skies are yours to conquer. Dive into the ultimate aviation simulation, where players from around the world connect, collaborate, and compete. Whether you're starting as a small bush pilot or running a budding airline, the possibilities are endless. Lease your first airliner or rent a bush plane. The choice is yours. With over 2 million pilot flights logged from Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, P3D, and FSX, and 8 million AI flights, you're joining a truly immersive world. Navigate a dynamic economy. Manage airports, build fixed base operators, share assets, and hire a crew. From buying, renting, or leasing aircraft to tracking your finances, On Air has the tools to help you grow. Explore a persistent MMO world that runs in real time. Manage charter flights, create virtual airlines, and develop custom routes. Whether you're delivering cargo, transporting passengers, or managing your very own airport, you can optimize every aspect of your operations. From thrilling bush flights in rugged terrains to long-haul airliner operations, On Air offers it all. Bush flying will test your piloting skills in some of the most remote and adventurous locations around the world. With real-time flight tracking, custom scoring, AI dispatchers, and crew management. On Air is the most complete airline management experience. Ready to soar? Experience a 7-day free trial, no commitment required. Join the active Discord community today and begin your aviation journey with On Air Airline Manager. Your airline, your adventure, your skies.
Out where the blacktop ends and the trees begin, I roll the throttle back and breathe it in. She don't care for comfort, she don't care for speed. She's built for the rough stuff, just what I need. No tarmac welcome, no tower call, just gravel, wind, and mountains tall. Only an American champion scout can climb like a whisperland where no one can stand. She hauls my hopes, my gear, my plan through the clouds and over the land, yeah. Only an American champion scout can. Only an American champion scout can climb like a whisperland where no one can stand. She holds my hopes, my gear, my plan through the clouds and over the land, yeah. Only an American champion scout can.
Well, there you have it.
And there you have it.
On air.
Indeed. And we're back.
The On Air and the American Champion Scout, two wonderful sponsors of National eSTOL. So make sure you guys check those
Yeah.
out. We wouldn't be showing it to you if it wasn't awesome. So what?
Have you had
to
a chance
the,
to? Have you had? Oh, sorry. Carry on.
I was just gonna say, to the interview with Wes, he's not lying. He's not faking it. I went to one of the events, and wow, I mean, that was still to one of the best days I've had in the 34 years I've been here. One of the best weekends I've had. I mean, and I worked all weekend. You know, I helped out, but it was still so much fun. I mean, it didn't feel like work. It was, you know, you saw all the pilots come in. You saw, there was a twin engine, like, Beechcraft. I forgot the exact name of it, but I got a bunch of videos of it taking off and landing in like 50 feet. It's like, what's going on? You know, it was just amazing. It was the coolest thing I've ever done. And, you know, they do take care of you too. So if you want to go volunteer at one of these events, they could definitely use it. If you're close enough to drive there, make sure you reach out in the Discord to, you know, Tom or somebody, and they will tell you, hey, this is how you can help. Come on out, etc., etc. But yeah, you don't. They take care of you. They feed you. They house you. It's a wonderful time.
Yeah, so up next we have the lineup for the Unlimited class. These are the planes with the maximum performance. And up first we have Luke Carrier in the Monster NX Club. He's definitely one of our fun personalities in National STOL. And next to him is Norcali J in the Savage Carbon. He was rocking the Kit Fox for most of the season, but he's gone back to his Carbon. It's like putting on old slippers, I think. Behind him, MP Troll in the Savage Cup. We have an MP Troll, by the way, is on Xbox. So whether you've got Xbox or PC, don't ever think that is a barrier to joining. And we also have Sub B, Subliminal Black. He's in the Savage Gravel, so he's got that nitrous power. Also with the nitrous power, we have Bubbles. Bubbles is coming from us from Tucson, Arizona. And finally, you've just seen him, everyone's seen him, in the Kit Fox competition, we have Wes Campbell.
So there it is. There's the lineup for the Unlimited class. I hate to be biased, but I love the Unlimited class. It's one of my favorite classes because it's just so unlimited. You can do whatever you want, basically. Not completely, though. You can't fly like a Harrier or something. But as far as fixed-wing aircraft go, with, propellers propelling them, you can do almost anything. And it's wonderful to see these guys. They're some of the best. They fly hard. They take names, and they kick a lot of butt. So, Kat, who do you think's going to win today? I mean, my money, I'm going to piss everybody off and make the chat probably go crazy. But, hey, my money is definitely... do I dare say it? Do I dare say who I think is going to win? I'm going with Wes Campbell. Oh, God. I just signed my death warrant.
All the Norcali supporters are going to be coming at you now, for sure.
I know.
That's the thing about the Unlimited class, because these guys are so close to the edge of what is possible on the edge of performance. I mean, Luke here with the most American plane that has ever existed. Anyone a fan of those stars and bars is definitely a fan of Luke's plane. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you listen closely enough, you'll hear an eagle screech as he takes off.
Yes.
But yeah, these planes are so close to the edge that even things just like a breath of wind can change the entire competition. Some of these planes...
truth be told, I love everybody equally in the Unlimited class. They are all wonderful wherever they're from, whatever they're doing, but we don't know who's going to win, realistically. I just wanted to see if the chat was awake.
Absolutely. And up next we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Norcali, last year's champion, and in the plane that's actually I painted this one for him, funny enough. So obviously I'm sat here being a little bit proud to see, and also there we go, I was waiting for that to come up. If you want to get trained, Mr. Norcali will train you. Join his Twitch and you'll be able to fly with him, and then join our Discord, and he'll be able to train you up as well. And it's something that he absolutely loves doing.
Yeah, that livery is old. It's a classic. It was one of the first, I think it probably was one of the first liveries created for any type of STOL event, even though it was not for this STOL event. It was for one that popped up when Kando was doing the Arkansas STOL. But still, a wonderful livery made by Kat. I remember seeing.
Yeah, and this is... And MP Troll here is... I'm not sure how Steffi did this, but I think this is a Steffi helped with this, but he is the only person to have a Xbox livery, and what a livery it is. Yeah, he can't see it himself, but we see it, and we see, I mean, look at the detailing on that livery, and that is the most Australian thing I think that exists as well.
Yeah, that's funny that he can't even see the livery, but we do a little magic with the camera guys. Probably, I would say probably thanks to DeWert. I don't even know for sure if he's the one who put that together, but I would have a good guess that it was DeWert that put that together. The ability to have Xbox have a livery.
I think it was the whole team working together. And here we have Subliminal Black with the Argyle livery, which I also really like. This is such a clean and tidy livery as well. Subby has been a pilot with us also since forever, it seems.
Now that AC photo art there, is that something like Sub B does in real life? I love how they can put their stuff on the sim, and so yeah, from Race Control it says that is something that is in real life. So they can do shout outs to their little whatever their business is, you know, like I think one of the Taco Delight, you know, liveries, we had to find out if Taco Delight was a real place, and every time I talk about that I get angry with myself because I'm thinking about food now. So sorry for that.
And finally, up last in the default livery, which still looks really good. I do love a yellow and a black livery, especially on a Cub. It's not the same as the Lightning Bolt. It's something a little bit different, but I do love it. And this is Bubbles. Oh, and how could I do this? I almost forgot about Wes coming up, bringing up the rear. So this here is the Kit Fox competition. The makers of the Kit Fox Parallel 42 saw what we were doing, decided they wanted to make a competition variant that had no cowling, it has smaller fuel tanks, better brakes, all sort of mods that you would find that you could possibly do to a Kit Fox, and they've made the competition Fox.
They didn't necessarily say that it was for eSTOL, but there was a national eSTOL flag in the reveal picture of it. So I would say that maybe it could have been, you know, directly related to us.
And they worked really closely, and this is also the Taco Delight. But they worked really closely with one of our guys here at eSTOL, who was also competing last season. That was Pete. Me and Pete had a good rivalry, and so that's why I used to call it the Cheat Fox. But it's an amazing plane. It's great fun to fly, and it's great to see in competition. So earlier on you were saying, who do we think is going to win this? And I think that question entirely depends on the wind and on how people are feeling today. Norcali always amazes, especially with his landings, especially considering he's flying the standard gravel. That one doesn't come with a nitrous. The other two in the competition, they have the nitrous. Wes's plane, the competition Fox, when there's wind, is phenomenal. When there's no wind, it struggles. So, and there's very variable winds today. So this is going to be a really, really interesting competition today.
I love that too. Very variable winds. They're very varied, variable winds today. I don't know how to take that statement, but I will say this. I think Kat is right. The wind is going to play a big role, as always. But I think the interesting thing about the wind is it doesn't really matter if the wind is hot and heavy or, you know, just kind of taking a back seat, because at the same time, you have different methods of flying that you're going to have to pursue get that gold, and that's what makes a good pilot. You know, you're figuring out all these different things. You figure it out, and you do it.
Absolutely.
But you have to do it the way you would do it with certain wins.
Sorry to interrupt you, but we got a green flag, and Luke Carrier not hanging around. He is absolutely gunning it for the sky, and gets that thing off. And under 98 feet, our first sub 100 today.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing if he gets going as fast as possible, because then the action starts sooner. The unlimited class. So, Kat, we were watching. Like, what did it take him? Like 5 seconds to realize that green flag and then get the heck out of the.
Absolutely. So when you are first in line and you get that green flag, you are free to go when you're ready to go. Which some people, obviously go straight away. Some people stop for a few seconds to see if the wind changes to his advantage. And Luke decided, let's light those tires and kick those fires. Let's go. And Norcali up in 85 feet as well. And woo! Looking for Penny's MP Troll. Woo! That
almost
was
touches
fun.
back down, but doesn't actually. MP Troll in the Savage Cub. That plane would do a lot better if there was some wind today. So he's yelling to Poseidon over there, yelling south to the ocean for Poseidon to come up and blow the old winds around.
Rugby hitting a nitro and going for it. Takeoff 41 feet. That thing just burst itself into the sky.
Absolutely. So Sub B with the nitrous on the gravel, love that plane. It's a wonderful plane. It does make it, the landings in that plane can be a little more tricky than the takeoffs. Because nitrous isn't going to help you on landing. So, although he's got that big boost in the beginning, he's got to really pay attention to the landings. It's a little bit difficult when you're competing against all these guys.
Bubbles with a 3-point takeoff there, straight off as well, 45 feet. Oh, the gravels are taking off like homesick angels. Spooling up that beautiful Rotax engine, and he is up as well. Oh, and that was 80 feet. That is first round of takeoff. Amazing. This is what we come for, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's the hotness of eSTOL right there. The unlimited class flying away just a few feet. I mean, I don't know what else we can say about these guys. They practice all the time. That's the one thing about this, is the community that you get with eSTOL. So if you want to be part of the community, nationalstol.com/chat, get on in there.
And coming in now, Luke Carrier. Now Luke is very good at hovering it on the prop, keeping that nose high, tail low. I think he even scraped the tail a little bit. Gets a stop. Ooh. That was excellent work. I know he's been struggling to get that thing stopped this year, but it looks like he is finally owning the Monster NX Cub.
Yeah, and that's interesting because who scores this round by 80K. You can check him out on Twitch. Go watch 80K fly around. 80K is an interesting character on his Twitch because he doesn't just fly STOL. He likes to fly a lot of different things. So please check him out on Twitch and enjoy his stream.
Oh, and our first scratch of the day from Norcali as he is pushing hard.
You know, in that NX Cub, when we first started doing eSTOL years ago, that was one of the planes we had to ban because it was stopping so shortly. So, you know, it seems like Luke maybe has figured that out on the little trick to stop that plane in short order.
Okay, up next coming in MP Troll. So he is as he is on Xbox, he's one of the few pilots we have to score manually. So right now, one of our trainers will be watching him, and we'll be watching him coming in, and then they'll send us the scores. And that's just like the real competition. It's how we used to do it for everything, but this new tool is definitely streamlined that process. And look how slow he's got that thing going. It's barely moving through the air. He drops it. Oh, it's a good drop. And stops. And that looked like about 90 feet to me.
Any slower and we'd have to cite him for holding up traffic. That's for sure.
80
MP Troll really gets that thing going slow coming in. And as we see, a go-around. So definitely very slow coming in.
Yeah, and it's always good to see it go around. Obviously, it is a simulator. You could technically land, but we are here to simulate the competition in real life. We're here. Our pilots in the simulator are professional pilots. And so, as a professional pilot, we decided to go around, and as a professional pilot, in comes Bubbles and gets us stopped.
So from the chat, from the YouTube chat, we have Steffieth. He is predicting with no strong wind, the strong engines have a benefit, so the gravel has a good chance today. And I agree with that statement 100%. If you don't have enough wind, then use the thrust, use the nitrous, and that's what the gravel is going to be very good at today. So don't forget, if you're watching with us today, pay attention to all these
sorry
pilots.
about that, but that landing from Wes was also absolutely incredible.
Yeah, can't beat it.
And finally, we'll have Sub B coming in after his go around.
Subliminal Black. Subliminal Black coming back around after he did go around because MP Troll was so slow in the air. We wanted to be safe and he went around. So this is actually coming around for the same round. Subliminal Black. We'll see what he can do here. Hopefully he's turned the nitrous off.
Absolutely.
So while he's coming in here, I want to remind everybody to shop at nationalstol.com. You guys can get the awesome shirts. If you paid attention to Wes's interview, he had an awesome shirt on, the Red National Stol shirt.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt that, but that was a masterclass in Stol flying. That high alpha he had all the way in, and then getting it stopped that quick.
Yeah, I mean, talk about using the wings as an extra flap. I mean, might as well have been straight up and down. I mean, that was great. But yes, nationalstol.com. You can get some of the shirts. I have, that's all I wear, by the way. National Stol hats, National Stol shirts. I may even have some National Stol underwear that you might not even know about. But shop/nationalstol.com. You saw it there on the screen. Make sure to get yourself some merch, some swag. Some of my favorite clothing. It's all really good quality. We'd love to see you in a National Stol shirt. So Luke Carrier lines up in the most American flag. Some may say he's America first. That's wonderful. We love that America livery, and we encourage all of the people from all the different countries that fly with us to maybe put your flag on your plane as well. We love to see it. A little bit of national patriotism. We do see that a lot with the British flyers. They are very patriotic too.
I do like to put the Union Jack. Oh! What did he touch back down? I don't think he touched back down. I'm going to give it on the tool for that, but that
what
was
does the tool
an
say?
amazing
What does the tool say,
takeoff.
Kat?
The tool says that wasn't no touchback down. That was 52 feet.
Love it.
Not our shortest takeoff, but from a nose wheel like that was excellent. And that's half of what he did in the first round. So maybe Luke was sandbagging.
So while we see the Savage Gravel being used a couple times in here, this is actually not the Savage Gravel, it's the Carbon. And it's interesting to see Norcali started out in this plane. He did a whole season in this plane and he was very loyal to it. He did not switch planes all season long, so it's nice to see him back in his original plane. Norcali, again, make sure to check him out if you need to learn some training and stuff like that. So check him out on his Twitch. And again, scores brought to you by 80K. He's the man when it comes to STOL. He does a lot for STOL. We appreciate him, and we appreciate everybody that does a lot for STOL. But 80K has a Twitch stream. You can check him out on Twitch. Twitch.com/80KAir.
Up next, Sub B in the Argyle livery. Oh, whoa! Moly! I think he saw his last distance and he was like, yeah, I can beat that. And he did. That was 1 foot off of that. That's a 40-foot takeoff. Considering the low level of winds that we've got, that is just amazing. Up and away. Bubbles saying, hang on a minute, hang on. That's great, but this is great too. And finally, we saw him on camera just a minute ago. We saw him on camera last week. And let's watch him take off for the second round of his heat. Here we go.
Hey, I got a question for chat. Does anyone else still have the American Champion Scout song stuck in your head? Because I still do.
Only American.
Champion Scout can. That's the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And that video was done by our friend Pete at Fox House Studios. To make some amazing.
Yeah, Pete does
videos.
a great job.
And here comes Luke, showing us how he can hold it in the air on the pole. More helicopter than aeroplane at the moment. Nose up, butt down, and woo! Drops her in. And stopped in 120. There we go. I absolutely love seeing those high alpha approaches. They just, does something to me.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of skill to be able to do that and do it effectively.
Absolutely. When you're in the cockpit, all you can see is sky and whatever's to the side of you. I know Luke does fly in VR, and I think I heard he flies in third person. And here comes Norcali, who doesn't fly in VR. Gets a drop, gets a stop, doesn't scratch it this time. Scores on the board for Norcali, 134.
So what's the word on the street these days? I'll ask chat, and I'll ask Cat and chat. What's the hot bush plane nowadays? Just for funsies, flying around in the simulator on the weekend or whatever. What's the bush plane of the day? What's everybody flying?
I think I think it's a case at the moment that everything is so good. I mean, everything from Wilgers to double enders to gravels, kit foxes, it's all good. If it can stop quick, then I think Obviously, my own personal favourite is the Chinook. Get that stop, every troll. There you go. It's the Chinook. Sorry about that. You know, I get into this a little bit, but yeah, absolutely. It's and that's why one of our other sponsors, which is CRZ Studios.
Yeah, I'll say I'm not flying that right now or anything, but Chinook has been one of my favorites too. I haven't had a chance to do a stream with it. I did get a copy from CRZ, but I do want to make sure I shout them guys out because the Chinook is phenomenal.
Unfortunately, it looks like Sub B may have had some sort of incident with his plane. Unfortunately, that is going to be a black flag for him.
So from the chat, they're talking about some of their favorite planes. We have Steffieth, the Gottfriend's Aeropract A32 Vixen. Yeah, another great plane. I have that one as well. I've been flying that. Actually, that's the only one I've flown for the past week or so. But I am not currently flying the CRZ Chinook or anything like that while I'm casting. So, you know. So scores looking pretty close out there. I mean, the skill level here, we're within 100 feet. A bunch of different planes today. Sub B still in the lead with 125. West C at 144. We got Luke Carrier at 172. Bubbles at 190. MP Troll 212 and NorCali at 223. And that's why we love the Unlimited class, because their entire landing and takeoff is that of most of the other classes landing or takeoff.
Absolutely.
So they're
like Ryan
getting more
says,
done with less.
Like Ryan says, a lot of them are landing within the length of an F-14 Tomcat. Talking to somebody landing within the length of, I think that could have landed on the back of the M14 Tomcat, 53 feet.
So Sub B is out for the rest of the round, but
that
he's
was
still...
sorry, my mistake. That wasn't 53 feet. That was a scratch.
Yeah, so Sub B's score at 125, that's a solid. He can't beat that score. He can't do any better because he's out for the rest of the round. But that score will stand. So he still could win. And we have to say to the rest of the Unlimited class, don't let that score stand. You have to beat that score. So you're looking for 125 or less. 124 or less to beat Sub B. Don't let him beat you when he's not even in the competition, right? Sub B's like, hey, don't be telling people my score. Well, it's okay because it's on the screen. Everybody sees it. And they all know what they're gunning for. And you got to give Sub B a lot of credit for hitting a score like 125. And so everybody will be trying to whack that score out of the sky. So we do have the final lap from the Unlimited class. It's the last chance for everybody except for Sub B because he's out for the round, but he still has a very respectable first place score on the screen. So it's the last chance for everybody else though to beat that score of 124. Wes Campbell, my predicted winner. He's still got, like 19 feet to go until he can beat that. So we'll see if Wes Campbell can pull it off. Luke Carrier, a little bit further behind, around 50 feet behind that score, but still Luke Carrier, one of the better competitors over time.
Oh, looked like he pulled that just a little too early, but still an amazing takeoff of 65 feet. It's
Cat,
crazy
I didn't see that.
even
Did he touch back
feet,
down?
I'm not reporting a touchback down. That was a clean takeoff.
Named Hard Fab from the
very
YouTube
good.
chat. He's asking, when does the 2026 eSTOL season start? And that would be a great question for Race Control. So we will wait for Race Control to give us an answer on that one, or maybe Cat knows.
I can tell you that's going to be April next year. And that'll be
Cat knows.
1 week after National Stole starts.
And it will be a good break because, as we've spoken about, we, are looking to make the transition over to 2024. We had been working with Microsoft Flight Simulator directly to try to make this transition easier. So I know Pete was heading up that the talks with them. We have a group, and we were managing to work with them. We still don't know exactly when it's going to be, but so I know everybody will be sad that National eSTOL is going to be taking our little, annual break between seasons. But the good thing is we'll be working hard to try to get us over to 2024. Whether or not that will happen is yet to be seen.
Watching those gravels take off, it's like they move faster than it feels like it's possible. It's just they just gone 46 feet.
46 feet, wonderful.
And that
still close. I mean, close. Sub B's got the shortest takeoff of the game so far, and he's currently out due to black flag, but 40 feet still holding on. 46 feet, very close there.
Oh, and I feel like that might be... Not sure if that's going to be a warning or a black flag. Oh, he's been issued with a warning for going over the runway edges. So the pilots, they do have to keep within the confines of the runway. It looks like he might have scared one of our cameramen with that takeoff. Okay, now we have the final landing of the Unlimited class. The final landings. So here comes...
Blue carrier for all the marbles.
Absolutely, and look at that. Fully sideways, nose up. Oh, it looks so good. And
he's flying like Paul Wall sits.
Now is a touchdown of 23 feet and his quickest stop of only 99 feet. And at the moment, that is good enough to take him into second place. Oh,
I'll
sorry,
say he should be happy with that one.
Here comes Norcali. This man's been with eSTOL since before eSTOL was eSTOL. Oh, and he looked like that was a stall on landing. Unfortunately, that is going to be a scratch as well. So these pilots really struggling, even the old hands really struggling with this, with these conditions today. So here we have MP Troll coming on in. Gets it slow, gets it dropped good. That's a good drop. I think that went a little bit long. Well, 143 feet, which in any normal world wouldn't be long at all, but he'll be cussing that one.
Yeah, it's interesting when you're mad about a 143-foot landing, but hey.
Absolutely. And Bubbles gets his stop right at 121. And that was his shortest distance today. And here comes Wes, his last chance to snatch the lead. He's got a slow nose up. Drops it down. Oh, nearly noses over. Gets us stops. That was an interesting ride.
little scary. He'll be cleaning the seats of that one after that.
Absolutely. I can tell you as a pilot that when your screen suddenly fills full of grass and your nose is pointing downwards, it's definitely a clenchy moment for sure.
Yeah, where did all the Lysol wipes go?
So that was the unlimited class, and that was really exciting to watch. From people struggling, stalling, scratches, disqualifications. It had everything. So, Mr. Bastix, would you like to run through the scores?
Why, sure I would. So the results, best runs are going to be sub B at 125. Even though he was out of the competition, he still managed to hold on at 125. Wes Campbell, 144 total. Luke Carrier coming in third place with a 164. Bubbles coming in fourth place with a 167. MB Troll in fifth place with a 212. And Norkelly J in that Savage Carbon with a 223. So all very good scores. It's hard to imagine that anything could be that short, but hey, what are we talking? We're talking unlimited class. So congratulations to the Flyers. I wanted to mention the sponsors. So big thank you and shout out to the sponsors. We have On Air Airline Manager. We have Hangar Studios, Got Friends, and CRZ Studios. All wonderful, wonderful sponsors of National eSTOL. So please, National eSTOL. So please check those guys out. And I'm sure they all have a lot of great things to offer. So next we're going to be doing an interview. Coming up, Kat is going to be doing an interview with one of the pilots. And so we'll stay tuned for that. Coming up here just a second. Don't forget to smack the like button on the YouTube, guys. It helps put the stream out all over the place. So make sure you smack that like button and share this with your friends.
I think before the interview we have the first round of the spec class. Bastix, you want to explain to the people at home who may have watched National eSTOL and not eSTOL what is spec class?
Well, yeah, so spec class is something that currently we're only able to do in eSTOL, so it allows us to be able to do one plane for every pilot. So every pilot's flying the same plane, same specs, and it really takes the attention to just pilot skill and maybe wind and heat and things like that, but just pilot skill, and everybody's flying the same plane. So it's something that we would love to be able to do in National eSTOL, and maybe someday we can do that, but right now it's currently only available in eSTOL. So if you want to see the pilot skill of being the focus of the flight, then check out this next class, which is the spec class. What plane are we flying today in the spec class, you might ask?
In the spec class, today we are flying the Savage Norden, which this is the backported version from 2025 that Got Friends have made available in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. So
nice. Is that available is that available just like to anybody that has it, even on Xbox and stuff?
Yeah, if you have it in 2024, then you also have it in 2020 as well.
Awesome. So anyways, you can see the pilots all lined up there. Got a bunch of planes out here. A lot of these people are crazy about eSTOL. If you're crazy about eSTOL, let us know in the YouTube chat. That's Savage Norden. Look at that. Somebody ported that livery over. That's one of the ones that Kat made, ported over to Norcali's Savage Norden. I don't know if you guys have ever flown the Savage Norden. If you're in the chat and you haven't tried it out yet, it's an awesome plane. So if you don't have it, you should have it. It's a base sim plane, but Got Friends, they had the contract with Microsoft. They made quite a few planes for the 2024 release, and I'm telling you guys, there is no love lost, no attention to detail lost just because it's a base plane. It is still everything that you would expect from Got Friends, so it's definitely one to get if you don't have it.
interestingly, it does fly a little differently in 2020 than in 2024. So you're going to see it today, and yeah, I've been watching them practice with this, and this is going to be a lot of fun. I know I keep saying that, but it's because it's true. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, when you love
Savage
eSTOL
Northern
as much as Cat
2020
does, though,
isn't-
it's hard not to think everything will be fun.
But in 2020, the Norden is an absolute monster, so it's good fun to fly. As usual, from any products we've got, friends, they're always good fun.
Yeah, definitely have a soft spot for those guys. Love their work. So National STOL lines is an interesting thing that you can do when you join On Air. You can become a member of the National STOL lines and do all kinds of different routes and different things, cargo and carrying around bush flights and everything else. So check out our National STOL lines within On Air. If you don't have it, make sure you check it out. There was a free trial mentioned, so I think you can get a free trial for that.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a really good community that is built up inside the eSTOL community of pilots, and it's quite fun. A lot of the missions that ADK makes are simulating things like, for example, if we were needing to get some spare parts to Dan because the Baudi special is broken down or something. So it's STOL flavored. So just
there are
getting
some
a
issues
bit of
with
a-
some liveries. Kat, can you explain that?
Yeah, so we obviously have different camera people, and they're having some issues with different liveries showing up on the wrong plane. It's one of the limitations of the simulator. So we just have some liveries. You may see some planes change livery mid-flight, depending on which camera they're through. They're all the same plane still. It's all the same spec plane. They're just trying to iron that out, see if we can get that ironed out. Because we do want to show off these planes and these liveries that have been made by the livery creators the best we can. So here we go. I think we are just about ready to go. I'm just about ready to bring out our first four pilots in the heat for the spec class. There's someone in black in the chat saying that he needs to join on. He has on air, but he's not joined with us. I don't actually have his sub, but you definitely should, because I listen into the guys playing it and flying around together and doing missions together, and it seems like a lot of fun and a good way to, I don't know, get some of that STOL feeling outside of STOL. Anyway, the lineup for the spec class is LBR. LBR Gaming coming to us from Kansas. Byron Bowman, you saw him earlier. He's coming to us from Louisville, Kentucky. Cedric P in the Savage Norden from Germany. He is, again, like we say, he's one of our livery creators. He does the STOL tool. And that will be the lineup to begin with.
So a good lineup for the spec class. Again, these guys are all flying the same plane. This is the Savage Norden, brought to you first in 2024 by the wonderful folks at Got Friends.
And there we are, LBR kicking the smoke.
Yeah, that smoke looks great in 2020. Sometimes I forget that this plane actually has smoke. But good note there to remember that the plane has smoke.
Little black rain cloud, always a showman, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely has style. The kid has style.
Yeah, up next, Cedric P, another of his Braundo liveries. It's got electrolytes, it's got what plants want.
That's right, what they crave and what they need from the movie Idiocracy. Finally remembered it. And I only remembered it because Steffi told me in the chat. Steffi making sure that flaps are working properly. Those flaps remind me of like an eagle claw, just like curling down to pick up a fish, but if the eagle claws were made of barn doors, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like that. Race control. Letting it be known that he missed Byron's name tag. Giving a little, issuing a formal apology. Right on the chat, right on the screen. Love to see them go with the choice of no cowling, because this is going to get hot, and we need no cowling to get rid of some of that heat.
That is some beautiful modelling done on that Norden.
Now, Kat, this plane, not that I know of, it doesn't have nitrous. Am I correct on that estimate there?
I haven't flown it for a little while, so I can't remember if I'm honest. I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
But no nitrous nonetheless. It has a lot of thrust, so you'll see.
Oh, a lot of thrust. It has that big 5-bladed prop. That big 5-bladed prop definitely has a lot of throw and a lot of thrust.
Yeah, and the other side of that 5-bladed prop too is it's got a lot of stopping power if you need it to be used as stopping power.
Okay, so we got green flag, LBR up first. Let's hope that display of smoke hasn't affected his engine in any way. And a confirmation from Brown Dog that indeed there is no nitrous.
Brown Dog, I trust he's correct in that statement. There's no nitrous in the Norden, so strictly the just original regular thrust with no nitrous added.
And then in thrust we trust, because that was up and away in 63 feet, which is pretty comparable to how those gravels were were doing it. So who says you need nitrous? What is it the saying? There's no replacement for displacement, and this goes to show. So up next, Byron Bowman. The Red Baron in the red plane. "74 feet.
Get trained on Twitch by twitch.tv/Red Baron. He can train you if you want to learn how to fly STOL. Just go into his stream and ask him, and he will most likely get together with you or show you right then and there. But either way, getting a time together or showing you right there, he'll get you trained.
Absolutely, and takeoff for Cedric P there of 60 feet. Cedric P laying it down to everybody else. And these ridiculously short scores are being brought to you by Honor themselves, sponsored by Honor.
One of the interesting things about this plane is it has a very, very interesting angle of attack at level flight. And at level flight, the wings are set as such on this plane that the tail is up quite high when you're in level flight. So it seems it's a little off-putting when you are viewing the plane from like the outside camera. And some people are like, "What do you mean? You don't look at the plane from the outside camera?" But I do, and I look at all that stuff. But it's interesting because the plane flies very, very well on level flight. But it's like, man, that tail seems to be up so high. But it's good because, you know, it gives a unique look to the plane. This plane reminds me of, like, if this were a car, it would be like a Chevelle or something.
I have no idea what a Chevelle is, but I'll have to take your word on that.
Well, besides it being a Chevy, it was a wonderful, wonderful muscle car from the times past. If I had to guess, late 60s, early 70s.
Gotcha.
And I probably would be guessing, because I'm not very good with my dates.
Well, one thing that isn't from the 60s or 70s, LBR Gaming here, coming on in. And he's showing some excellent control of the plane there. Little throttle and throttle modulation to keep the nose up. That's it, and he drops it. Ooh, gets us stopped, nearly twists. Woo! There we go. And that is a stop of 149. And at the moment, I have no idea if that's competitive.
It's hard to tell yet, but we will see as more landings start coming in.
We will soon find out. So coming in next is Byron Bowman. The Red Baron. And he had a competition with Victor Wasser, who unfortunately couldn't be here with us today. But him and Victor all last season were fighting, and I think he did a huge amount to up his STOL skills, and woo! I think we'll have to go to the judges there. Yeah, I issued a warning for his wing going outside the bounds. But still, a stop of 126. So far, 12 feet in it. And Steffi beat that. Steffi had the shortest takeoff. Does he have the shortest landing? .128. Not quite, but it's close. It's so close. And that will push him into the lead straight away. Steffi laying it down to the rest of the pack. Following up Wes Campbell, you saw him in the Kit Fox. Now he's in the Norton. Drops it at exactly the right time, and holy heck! Wes Campbell showing it to everyone that my friends, is how it's done. And I am sorry for shouting, but that was phenomenal.
No need to apologize, we love it.
And I know I was talking to Wes Campbell before the show, and he did say to me, you're going to want to watch the Spec Class Cat, because I've got some tricks. And oh boy, does he have some tricks. The rest of the field are going to be watching that, and they're going to be thinking to themselves, what did he just do? How did he just do that?
Maybe I'll be justified in saying he was going to win the Unlimited class. Maybe Wes Campbell will pull off this one.
Here we go. LBR Gaming on the line. Everybody else getting tucked in, ready to go. pulls it up and 3-point takeoff. Off he goes. 59 feet. That's in fact the quickest takeoff, or the shortest takeoff we've had so far. So LBR has seen Wes's landing, has said, I can beat that, chum, I can beat that.
Floats off into the sky like a helium balloon.
And Byron Bowman, again, the takeoff distances, they all seem fairly close together, fairly similar. Just 5 feet in it so far. That's how close the competition is. When they were all in the same plane, the same conditions, nothing but pilot skill separating these pilots.
Cedric P with the wigwag lights taking off again like a bat out of a cave into the light.
Absolutely. And I like the little wigwag from his wings as well as he took off. These pilots, when they do take off, quite often they are taking off right at the moment that the plane is able to fly. And for sometimes you get that settle and it feels like the plane's going back down. And although it feels unusual to do it, you have to put your nose down in order to gain that airspeed. And there you go. There you see a perfect example of that there. Had to drop his nose down. Oh, and unfortunately issued with another warning for breaching. I think that was breaching for runway. Not sure. I'll have to go to race control. Was that for a breach of runway? That
race control is going to review.
Yeah. If it is, unfortunately, that would mean that he is disqualified. In the meantime, though, we have LBR coming back in. Now, we've seen Wes do his crazy landing. Unfortunately, his takeoffs have not been as smooth or as I want to say controlled, but that landing looked like it was. I'm sorry, I just went quiet because I was just watching LBR coming in, slipping it sideways. Always has amazing plane control, LBR. Drops it, gives up a lot of distance. Oh! Oh, and I curse him as I tell him he has amazing plane control. He unfortunately, it looks for far too many pennies. Looked for pennies and found dollars.
That is true. We do see a nose over. Look at that. And that's what happens when you get a little overzealous on the landing, on the brakes.
Yeah, we have a go around from Byron Bowman. Obviously being safe, making sure that he's not interfering with the recovery of that plane.
I do love this plane because it has leading edge slats that you can retract and you can put them out and then you can retract them. So the leading edge slats are pretty interesting, and that it also has an extra stage of flaps, but that the last stage of flaps you actually have to hold down. So it adds a little bit to the intricacy of landing this plane. If you want to use that last stage of flaps, you've got to hold them down, and it doesn't seem like, oh well, you know, that doesn't seem that hard. But when you're talking about all the things you got to get right to land and then not have any issues like a nose over and such. Like we had the stream drop for a little bit, unless it was my internet, but
Yeah, there we go. Well, I think we're back. Are we back?
I think we are. Everything seemed to come back like about a minute ago, but I couldn't hear anybody. But now I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can see some things happening. That was unusual. Oh. There we go.
So where were we? Looks like the score is brought to you by On Air. Cedric P at 145, Wes C at 168, Byron B at 200, and LBRG at 212. So score is very similar to the Unlimited class. This plane, if it is added next season, it would most likely end up in the Unlimited class because of the performance of this wonderful bird.
I think the performance in 2024 differs, so it all depends if we go 2024 or not. Bear with me, I'm just updating the scores as we speak.
Do you think it performs better or worse in 2024?
I think it performs a little more realistically in 2024.
Okay.
So, if you don't mind keeping everybody occupied, I'm just updating all of the scores.
All right, no problem. So we have Cedric P on his takeoff. Another good takeoff from Cedric P. What else do you expect from a man like Cedric P? On the line is Wes Campbell in the National STOL livery without the hood. I like it when they choose to fly without the cowling. A little bit of style points on takeoff.
And there we are. Scores are sorted after the interesting outage we just had. So here we are. Byron Bowman coming on in. His last landing in the spec class. Last chance to show everybody what he can do with his plane.
Well, with the takeoff of 57, you know, his last two landings have been, you know, within a foot, 126 and 125 respectively. It looks like he has a chance here.
And unfortunately, that chance has been squandered with a scratch.
Oh man, you know, he could have done really well there if he would have had been a little bit past, a little bit further, and landed after the line, but. You'll see scratches when people are trying hard, and that's what these guys do, and girls, they try hard to win.
I think it was Steve Henry who said, if you ain't scratching, you ain't trying.
That's right.
There we go, Cedric P. His last landing of the day. His takeoff was the best takeoff we've had so far. So let's see if he can team this up. You can see him there holding the button for that extra flap. And he takes all those flaps away, gets it stopped. Oh! Unfortunately, that was a 2-foot scratch. Woo!
Wow.
If he hadn't scratched it, that would have been the winner for sure. Even adding that extra 2 feet on.
Well, like you said, Steve Henry, he knows his STOL flying. He's a very good competitor in the real life stuff, and if he says you ain't scratching, you ain't flying, well, Steve Henry says that, and I think it's true.
So, the last landing of the first round, we saw him earlier, we've seen him compete a few times. Wes Campbell. Oh, unfortunate. Wes Campbell also looking for penny and finding dollars. That is unfortunate.
Love the wigwag lights on the runway there. Looks
I
funny.
think that's the first time ever, but that was 3 scratches the entire field in that last round. Scratching, scratching, scratching. Maybe somebody out there has thrown out some itching powder because everybody's scratching.
Either that or National eSTOL has a case of the fleas in the spec class because somebody is scratching.
But I think it's a case of, obviously, you know, we get that amazing landing from Wes Campbell, and everybody sees that, and it puts the pressure on. And when the pressure on is on like that, you do stretch, you do push harder. And as you can see here, unfortunately, in that final round, everybody pushing just a little too hard.
Yes.
But the good news is, coming up after my interview, we have another round. We have 4 more pilots, 4 more chances.
Spec class is a popular one. It's definitely popular. There's always a ton of people. So we should be going here shortly to an interview with Frozen Alaskan, a real-life pilot. And he's going to be interviewed by Kat. So stay tuned for the interview. And as you take a look at the scores, Cedric P taking home the lead, the win with that 145 as the pilots maneuver there back into their places. It's really amazing what Anov was able to do to make these competition spots all over the country. These are real life spots, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. The work that Anov does to get these spots in the sim, and also looking as good as they are. We have all the grandstanding. We have the van, which unfortunately, or the trailer, which unfortunately National Soul doesn't have anymore. So I think that means that there will need to be some updates for next year. But yeah, they are amazing sceneries, and all available on the marketplace for, I think it's for $4.99, which is as cheap as it gets. And you get all of them, I believe, or nearly all of them.
Cheap in price, but not cheap in quality. The quality is 100% beautiful. So please make sure to check them out because they are very, very inexpensive for what you get for them. I mean, you can't beat it. You definitely cannot beat it. Pilot interview coming up, guys. Frozen Alaskan.
Just got done having to make sure all the other sounds were off. Had me confused.
Hello. Welcome. Hi, Frozen. Welcome to
Hey,
welcome
Kat,
to the stream.
how are you doing?
Not too bad.
Thank you,
How are
thank
you
you.
doing?
Oh, just a little bummed out with the tailwind change right on takeoff. You know how that goes.
Absolutely. I was going to actually ask about that. Obviously, you guys were out first, and it was some very tricky flying conditions. How does that affect you on the day?
Well, so obviously we had Brown Dog and Steffi taking off before me, and then we had Amal, the new guy, took off before me. And right when I lined up to the line, I looked at the windage flag, and I seen wind going the opposite way, and I was like, man, this is so. Let the guys know, obviously, and said that we were gonna go, and we're fighting a tailwind.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was saying that practicing for a tailwind is something we don't usually do because obviously when you're in practice you can just flip-flop either end whenever you like. So it's something that doesn't actually come up too often. Have you done much practice in tailwinds?
Honestly, I haven't practiced at all on the sim. I did put my sim rig back together at 7 this morning. And after putting my sim rig back together, I came to compete. I did need a practice, I'll admit that. And other than that, yeah, So real life practice in tailwind, you know, up to 10 knots, you're good.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I was wondering, and if you're happy to share with us, how did you first come into flight sim, and additionally to that, how did you then come into eSTOL?
So I've been in flight sim since about flight sim 98. And I got really, really into it, you know, flying back then it was scenery didn't look as good. You know, we didn't have competitions like this. The most we had was shared cockpit. And after flight sim 98, I stuck with all the flight sims, and, you know, sticking with the flight sims, we got to the point where it was, where I got to the point where, you know, I got aviation tattoos on me. And when it comes down to it, you know, I've just always stuck with flight sim, and I got back in 2020, which we're competing in now. And after getting back into 2020, you know, I found a group of guys that, you know, they pursued eSTOL, and then, you know, just taking real life events, you know, it's cheaper than avgas.
It's indeed. Well, maybe not if you've got a Smitty's rig, but for everybody else.
Believe it or not, that still is cheaper than avgas. You know, it adds up. It adds up, especially, you know, out here. You know, I'm in the bush, Alaska right now, and you know, avgas is but roughly $11 a gallon.
Absolutely. So you said that you're a real life pilot. How do you find how do you find like the ethos and the professionalism of us compared to real life? I'm curious on that.
Well, so I went into the Valdez stole. This was years ago, and I was in a Cessna 150. And I mean, I can't compare it to National Stole because I haven't attended an event yet, but that's on the bucket list. But from what I see here, you know, everything's sanctioned, everything's great, and, you know, there is comms between us pilots that are doing the laps. And, you know, you say sterile cockpit, everybody goes quiet, and, you know, you're on final, and it's good. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said you attended Valdez. Have you got any interesting stories of attending that? Because that's obviously one of the most famous stole competitions there is.
Yeah, that's the first competition that the Draco actually came from overseas to Valdez Stoll, and you got to see it in real life. If I could share pictures with you, I would. Um, got to jump in it in real life, and, you know, obviously the only thing that I want to see added to the sim, which might be possible, I don't know, is like a flower bomb drop, because that event was absolutely fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that would be good fun. I'd really enjoy that as well, for sure, for sure. And so, what is it that you're most looking forward to next year in regards to eSTOL?
Well, prayers that it's on 24. I do like the flight dynamics of Flight Sim 24. You know, we could only hope, and obviously there's testing going on that, you know, a lot of people are doing. And eSTOL, I mean, it's a growing community. You know, just jump in Discord, get with the trainer, and yeah, jump in, have fun. Number one rule: have fun.
Absolutely. Number one rule in the rule books. We have to do it. Well, thank you very much, Frozen. Absolutely for that. And I can't wait to see you fly. Are you going to be there for the next round? For the
I
last
am
round?
gonna be. I think is that Johnson's Farm? Am I correct on
Johnson's
that?
Farm. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, I believe I am gonna be. I'm trying not to miss any events. I started off, I missed like maybe 4 events, so it kind of really affected scores. And I've
Yeah.
gotten better at attending events. You know, I do got to wake up 7 a.m. to attend these events on a weekend. You know how that goes. So with the Johnson's Farm, yeah, I'll definitely, if I got the invite there, then yeah, I'll definitely be there.
I can't wait to see you. And with that, I'm going to hand back to Burstex. Thank you very much.
I appreciate you.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are here for the rest of the spec class. So the spec class is the Nord, and we have some great scores. Everybody's looking to beat that 145. So we had, I mean, that 145 is amazing. So we're going to see if anybody in the second round of the spec class can win. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one to beat. I think it's definitely possible, but it's going to be a tough one to beat. So here at Lonestar eSTOL 2025, this is the last regular season event. And we are not done for the season, though. We still have the finals. So we'll get some more information coming up after. So don't go anywhere just yet. We have more information coming up about the finals and maybe some interesting stuff that you guys will be able to see. So stick around for that. So we have coming up here, I think these are the ones that already went for the spec class.
Yeah, so we have MP Troll, who is with us on Xbox, coming all the way from the other side of the world in Australia, and Norcali J. And we don't have the rest to show you, but I can tell
Should be
you that
Bubbles and Quentin Lagrange, I think.
It is indeed.
So Bubbles flying out of Tucson, Arizona, and Quentin Lagrange flying out of Johannesburg, South Africa. We saw those two fly earlier in their own respective classes. Now they're going to be in a spec class against everybody that's flying is going to be MP Troll, Norcali, Bubbles, and Quentin Lagrange. All flying that Savage Norden, that wonderful, beautiful aircraft. Brought to you by one of the sponsors of the event, Got Friends. Yeah, I gotta say, over the time of me flying in the sim, Got Friends have been like probably 75% of the aircraft that I've flown. They work hard, they get a lot of planes done, they do a lot of good work. So I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It just happens to be that's mostly what I end up flying.
Yeah,
and I don't know if you guys can hear it. My son is now 1 year old. He's out there having a blast in the living room playing with all his birthday presents. So if you can hear him out there, that's my little son Baron having a good time. Not sure if that's coming through on the microphone, but I definitely it's been interesting being a dad at his birthday yesterday and stuff like that. So shout out to all the dads out there. It's a cool feeling. Everybody told me like, you're gonna love being a dad, and I'm like, I'm sure I will. But then when you actually become a dad, that's when you realize how cool it actually is. So we're going to introduce to you the liveries and the people that are coming up here. We got a little bit of tail wagging going on. That should be, I think the liveries are still a little bit confused because of the sim. The sim is not going to show the liveries correctly. That's just one of the things that happens. But it looks to be LBR Gaming, making sure that all of his flight services work correctly.
LBR Gaming was last time. I think, given the wiggling and the wobbling, I'm thinking that might be MP Troll.
Okay, MP Troll. Okay.
He gets those Fowler flaps going, the tail go, everything's going. If it can wiggle, it's being waggled.
Yes, that is true. Steffi in the chat saying he thinks NorCal is going to get some awesome numbers, so we're going to see how that goes. And MP Troll is flying with a handicap today of sleep deprivation, according to Steffi. I think I'm always running on sleep deprivation. I tend to get 3 to 4 hours a night. I think it's a waste of time to sleep any longer. They say, well, you'll live longer if you... But then you spend your whole life sleeping. I mean, I'm not a doctor, or a rocket scientist, but I think the math adds up.
And also Norcali being the showman, giving us the wiggle and the waggle. And continuing delivery, which I always find quite touching, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know why that is, Kat. I don't know why that is. As we see the cat symbol stamped on the side of that. So we might know why that is, because Kat created that wonderful livery. Bubbles rolling down in the Rondo livery, the livery that was created by Steffi. in honor of the movie Idiocracy.
And don't forget that we are having 1 or 2 livery issues. So if you do see a livery flip-flop, that's just the simulator being the simulator and doing what it does.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because we're talking about the liveries here, but we don't even really know what livery anybody's in.
Yeah, I'm thinking this might be the livery that he chose.
It's one of, so the National STOL livery would be the one that we think Bubbles is actually in.
And again, shouting out to the amazing camera people that we have running the cameras. Dewart and Red Heron, they show up every day, every show.
Yes, and I think we are race control might have to check this. I think we're missing sound on the stream, the sound of the aircraft engines. And there we go, like clockwork, they come in. The aircraft engines are now here.
It's the Rotax 915, if I remember rightly. It's either a 915 or a 916.
I think it's 916.
Is it 916 and it's on the newer one? I think with Rotax you can tell from the colour of the heads, but I can never remember which colour's which.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not currently flying that plane in the sim, and there's no way for me to be able to check that, so I'll tell you just in a second. It is the 916 IS, and take that for what it is, but yes, it is the 916 IS. And Red Baron Modeling, being the true aircraft mechanic he is, comes in with the second and only believable confirmation, because I'm not actually flying right now, 916.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing what Norcali can bring, what MP Troll is always amazing and brings excellent flying. Quentin is one of our flyers who's shown with us a few times, and it looks like we might be having a change of runway due to the wind conditions. So because they haven't started this round, they're flipping the runway. They voted to switch to the other end of the runway, so we won't have a repeat of what happened in the touring class, because touring had already begun when they decided to flip that runway.
Well, exciting, the last round of the spec class and the last round of the last regular season event. So what do we have left? We have left the finals. And what better a place to bring it back to than where it all started for eSTOL, the Johnson's Farm. And that's the Johnson's Farm. I don't know if that's I'm not sure if that was added into the pack that you could buy off the internet, or off the store. But I
think it's part of the pack.
Oh,
we'll have to get confirmation. We'll have to get confirmation, and I'm sure somebody will say. Red Baron was also sending us that it's green or black for the 912, blue for the 915, and white for the 916. The cylinder head colours. I knew they were colours. I don't remember which ones are which. But yeah,
I didn't know that. That's a good fact.
Yeah, but whether or not the pack's in, I'm not sure. But it is very nostalgic to be going back there. It sort of takes us all the way back to where it began, where it started. Me trying to ruin things by picking silly planes. It was
that was all
time.
Good. Speaking of where it started, where this is starting is right here, because we got the green flag and we got MP Troll taking off in just a few feet.
There we go. 74 feet for MP Troll there.
74 feet, that looks like a good takeoff to me.
That's matching Byron Bowman's takeoff from the first round. Not the shortest we've had, but also not the longest. A good
Yeah,
first round
59.
takeoff.
59 is the shortest takeoff coming from LBR
Yeah.
Gaming last round. Actually, 55 is the shortest one. That was from Cedric B.
And here we have Norcali. I know Norcali's been really enjoying this plane as well. And up, he's been showing it by taking off in 66 feet.
So it looks like we know we can get short takeoffs in this plane, but it looks like the takeoffs are all pretty similar, but the landings is where you're seeing a lot of differentiation. So that's where we're going to be paying attention here, folks. If you're watching, you're going to want to be paying attention to the landings. That's where we're going to see.
Oh, and Bubbles takeoff there. That was incredible. That was a takeoff of 45 feet. Bubbles there just disappeared like a homesick angel.
We'll take it. 10 feet shorter than the prior shortest takeoff. So Bubbles.
Yeah, absolutely.
The challenge to Bubbles now is to get a good landing. Maybe he'll take home the gold.
And Quentin LaGrange also absolutely showing it. So the newer guys, because Bubbles is he's been around for a few rounds, but he's still one of the newer guys. The newer guys are showing the old guys, the old guard, that maybe in this case, youth trumpeting skill, no age. No, I know what I'm trying to say. Though oddly, I'm not sure how old any of the pilots are, so yeah, it's all just waffle. Anyway, let's get some landings.
Yeah, he's definitely new. I mean, newer to eSTOL for sure. He's been around a little bit, but definitely newer. One of the newer pilots, but he's been doing good ever since I've seen him. I remember the first time he came in, and every competition since. And he's always got a good showing of what he can do here in the sim.
If I remember rightly, on his first or second, I think it might have been his first competition, he won his class, the class that he was in. So he came in and instantly won his class.
Yeah, that's a good showing right there. That says the future may be bright for Bubbles, and so far that's been kind of what's been happening.
And let's watch MP Troll's approach here, as he's crabbing it into the wind, trying to get every last gust of wind over his wings. Those high lift devices doing their best to keep the airstream attached, and oh, they didn't do good enough. Ooh, that nearly went very wrong. Unfortunately, that will be a scratch, but that nearly went much worse than that. And some excellent skill from MP Troll to control. MP Troll to control. It's difficult to say. That landing. And he was issued
Control to control.
So here we are, Norcali coming in.
Love the view in the background, the lake in the background. Norcali not giving up anything. A little turn, but I think that was control.
Absolutely not giving up anything.
You know, he didn't look out of control there, so we may have some review there, but I don't think that was out of control. I think he looked completely in control. He was going slow enough that I don't know there's any way he could have had any trouble with that. So, Bubbles, a little play on the rudders there. Ooh, may have touchdown. We'll have to check.
Oh, I'm gonna check into that. That was not recorded as a touchdown.
So he may have just fluffed the grass a little bit, but no hard touch on the dirt.
Indeed, absolutely. I think those tires went through, parted the blades of grass.
No line violation. So after review, there was no line violation, which is what we kind of thought, but you know, we leave it to the professionals.
Absolutely. Wait, I think we're the professionals in this case. Oh no!
Hey, whoever's doing the scoring, is there still someone that does the actual scoring, Kat?
Yeah, it's me right now.
Oh, you didn't even tell me that. Wow.
No, I'm just in the background doing what I do.
I just thought you were like watching a movie or something.
No, I'm doing the scoring.
Oh,
Okay,
I know.
here
I'm
we
just
go.
messing with
Quentin Lagrange.
you. Ooh, I like that. Comes in, gives up a
Yeah,
little bit.
no,
But
that was very well saved. It looked like he was about to drop it. And that is a stop of 109.
that's one of my favorite things about STOL flying is how much different it is when you're behind the power curve and you're in slow flight. You know, you don't do the normal things that you would think. You know, your brain would tell you that you need to pull up to gain altitude, right? But that's not the case. You actually need to add power. If you want to elongate your landing, or if you want to gain some lift, gain some altitude, you're going to have to add power to that. You're not just going to be able to pull up because you're not flying at a speed that allows for that.
Indeed, power for altitude, pitch for speed. And again, if you did want to join us, but you're like, I don't know how to stall. That's something our trainers are more than happy to sit and teach you, or anybody, any of these pilots would happily sit there and talk to you about how they do what they do, how you come in on an approach, the different things you're looking out for, how to recognize stalls, all of this stuff, and also how to take off. MP Troll showing us how to take off as well.
Power for altitude, pitch for control. Get your pens out and your paper because you want to write that down. Power for altitude, pitch for control.
Here comes Norcali, the wigwags, wig wagging. And holy moly, Christ on a biscuit!
Ground control,
36
Major Tom,
feet.
it's Norcali, taking off 36 feet. I don't know how he does it.
I don't know how he just did that either. That's incredible. Norcali coming here and saying that Cat is absolutely full of it, saying the young guys are showing them what for, and says, yep, my name's Norcali and this is my competition. And up and away, only, see, I say this, and then immediately has shown up, only 4 feet behind. Bubbles with the, Bubbles and that Norden are really gelling well together. And here comes Quentin.
It's like he had helium bubbles underneath of his wing, lifting him up. Wow,
nice controlled
very
3-point. Yeah, that was very smooth 3-point takeoff. That was.
When you have those leading edge slats activated, that is the way to do it, folks. That is the way to do it. Those leading edge slats will help you take off if you're taking off in that 3-point stance like that.
Absolutely. They are electrically controlled as well. So, unlike a lot of slats are weighted, so they'll come out at a certain speed automatically. But those ones are electrically controlled, so you can just decide if you want slat or not. And I am excited to see in the national STOL competition, the Norden next year. As Wes was saying, apparently next year's Norden that's coming is going to have lift devices and all sorts of STOL magic attached to it that has never been attached to a Norden before, and it already has a lot of high lift devices. So this is it's going to be really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing that as well.
What
as
are they adding
some
to
of our
it?
classics.
Can we talk about that or no?
No idea. I'm not sure. I don't even know if they would tell anyone because that's giving away the competition.
Well, it seems like they're talking with Jonks now. I know how it is when Jonks' inbox is full. If you don't know who Jonks is, he's one of the guys at God Friends. His inbox is full. When you message him, sometimes
sorry
you get a
to
message
interrupt you. I'm so sorry to interrupt you there, but that was a landing. MP Troll just came in and absolutely plopped it in.
And as he plops, he hops. MP Troll doing the plop
and that was a landing of 64 feet. So far, Norcali had a 63 feet. That's 64 feet. Oh, and here comes Norcali himself. Looks to be pulling a lot of energy in. Oh, yeah, it took a little bit extra. I mean, I'm not sure how you can moan about 111 feet, but it looks like he dragged a lot of energy compared to his first landing.
Had to fix my rudder pedals. Not that I'm flying or anything.
And here comes Bubbles. Oh, and that was a touchdown, unfortunately. Oh, and he was
be taking a
warning
vacation for that one.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be getting a slap on his wrist from race control.
I can just imagine Tom taking his headset off and throwing it on the ground. My beautiful signs. Don't be running over my beautiful signs. No, Tom is very even keeled. He wouldn't be doing it. He'd be concerned for the pilot. They might have to get the breathalyzer out there because no, none of these guys are doing that.
I have to say, one of the things I just noticed, I like the way that we have the final cone. We have a set of cones to help the pilots with their patterning. It's actually on a little raft in the lake. Anyway, no time for that because Quentin is coming in. Oh, and gets us stopped just about. Bit of an angle on him there, but he gets it stopped. 89 feet.
I love that. As someone who brought to you guys, these scores brought to you by National Stoll Lines and On Air. Get on to On Air. You can check out National Stoll Lines, become a member of that group. That is the official Stoll line of National Stoll, so hop on there and check that out. Scores, though, looking very good for Norcali. Might be the hottest one of the bunch. 129 for Norcali, Quintanel at 136, MP Troll at 139. Cedric P at 145, Leslie at 164.
It is crazy how close it is. There is 7 feet between Norcali and Quentin, and then 3 feet between Quentin and MP Troll, and then 6 feet between Cedric and MP. It's so close. It's so close. It could be anyone's game.
Yeah, the skill level shown at this event here is unbelievable. These guys are a little too close for comfort. If we were back in COVID times, we'd have to say, please, stay 6 feet apart. But thank God we're not back in those times.
And a burst of smoke, and ever the showman, MP Troll. A takeoff of 80 feet. I think maybe the smoke had an effect. So up next, hoping the smoke's cleared.
Someone forgot to turn the no smoking sign on because he is definitely smoking.
And these are the final takeoffs. This is the last round of the spec class. And Norcali up there in 55 feet. And here we have Bubbles on the line. Time for his last run. And he is up. And that is a takeoff of 53.
What was our shortest takeoff? I think we had one at
North Cali at 36 feet. Though that one was
36.
teamed. That one was teamed with quite a long landing. So, although that was our shortest takeoff of the day, it wasn't our shortest total score. And that there was a takeoff of 70. So it looks like maybe the wind has slightly dropped out from them. We'll find out when they come round for the last landings of the day.
Make sure you guys shop at nationalstole.com. It's shop.nationalstole.com. You can check out all the cool merch. If you remember Wes Campbell's interview from earlier, he had on a wonderful red shirt. As you can see, I have my National eSTOL shirt on. If you've seen me on the event, you might have seen that shirt. So, you got the beautiful National eSTOL shirts. Get the hats, get the shirts, get it all. Shop.nationalstole.com.
Yeah, and absolutely. And if you want to join us, what we're doing, if you want to be one of these pilots, if you want to be one of us, then we have a Q. You can take a picture of that QR code right now, and that will take you through to nationalstole.com/chat. And yeah, you can join us, become one of us. Even if you just want to join in the community and immerse yourself in the National eSTOL community, the National eSTOL community. There's always something going on. People are always chatting about all kinds of aviation things as well. Talking of aviation things, here we go. MP Troll on his last landing, his nose is high. Oh! Stalled it, and that's going to be crucifying for him. Dropped it 10 feet high, 10 feet too early.
10 feet high, 10 feet too early. Is that the case? That looks like the case, I say.
So, coming in for his last landing of the day. You've seen him before. You've probably seen him on Twitch. It's Norcali.
Norcali J, baby. Ooh.
Oh,
nice landing controls. Oh. Wow.
Ooh. That is unfortunate. That was a miss, a save, another miss, another save.
I thought he had it.
I thought he had it as well.
I already packed up the tent and went home.
Ah, dear, oh dear.
Bubbles in the chat says,
so,
no.
Yeah, and we got to go around from Bubbles, which again is exactly what we want to see. So far, we've got 2 more landings to go, and I don't want to be the one who curses them, but at the moment, everybody in their final round has pushed it so hard that for one reason or another, they've been either scratched or DQ'd. So
you
let's
need me
see
to curse
if
them for
Quentin...
you, Cat? You don't want to be the one to do it, but I'll do it. No. It's kind of funny though, because you got Bubbles. He's flying, and then he's in the chat watching live. I love that. I love that. Even though it's not, technically probably shouldn't be doing that if you're flying in real life. I mean, hey, we're not smacking anybody for that. Looks like we accidentally lost the score somehow, so I'm not sure if they're lost, or if we can get them back. I think we'll be able to get them back. I'm still seeing them on the graph here, so. But race control does not have them. Yeah, so I'm still seeing them on the spreadsheet, so we'll be able to call them out to you, but unfortunately race control won't be able to relay them to you. So That's okay. We will relay the scores to you.
And for the last landing, we have Bubbles coming in very spiritedly, and that is going to be another race warning.
Is that
Landing
accurate?
at
We have
197.
6 DQs.
Yes, that is indeed accurate. We have 6 DQs.
Oh, Lord. And the weather is just not cooperating today. North Cali mentions that went back to a tailwind on the last run there. So North Cali rally. I didn't even notice that.
Why that might explain why they were having quite so many efforts there.
Is that the real North Cali, or is that an imposter? I don't. Did he change his name?
So there we go. That was the national eSTOL competition for Lonestar, and what a competition it was! That was a roller coaster from start to finish.
Yeah, I'll say 6 disqualifications in the last round, but I think it is some of it, is attributed to the wind changing up so much, and that's why you got to pay attention. That's why you got to pay attention. You got to lick that finger and stick it in the air. So we're gonna talk about the scores here.
Yeah.
The scores in order: 129 from North Cali J. So even though he ended up disqualifying, he still gets the win. So 129. Second place, 139 from MP Troll. So MP Troll, congrats on that second place. Then we next have 145. 145 is from Cedric P. So great job from Cedric P at the 145 score point. We have 155. That is going to be Bubbles. That is the fourth place. After 155, we're coming in 164 from Wes Campbell. So then 189 from Byron Bowman, and coming in last is 212 with... Oh, actually, nope. Excuse me. That's not last. So 212 is LBR, and then last place at 267, it's Quentin LaGrange. So good job to all, though. If last place is 267, then I think everybody's doing pretty good. So that will be it. That will be all for this one. We do have a little bit of information coming up about the final round. This was the last regular season run, but we do have one more event left for the 2025 National eSTOL season. We appreciate everybody that comes out to all these events. Don't forget to smack a like on the stream. Make sure to share it with your friends. And we'll talk a little bit about the final, the championship round. So the championship round is going to be open to everybody. You don't have to have competed for the entire season, although you're not going to win the whole season, because remember, we win using season points, but you can still compete. Yep. So come join nationalstol.com/chat if you want to join in, and you can get into the final end of season championship. So there are going to be prizes. Okay, so we have some prizes for the championship round, and those prizes, anybody can win them. So it's not just going to be, whoever gets first place, second place, et cetera, et cetera. Anyone can win the prizes because they're going to be done by a drawing. So it's going to be at Johnson's Farm. It's going to be right here on National eSTOL's YouTube. The first prize one of the prizes that's going to be out is two $50 gift cards for our Hangar Studios store, so you can pick up all the awesome planes from Hangar Studios. There is going to be a 1-year on-air subscription where you can join National STOL lines. There is going to be a bunch of National STOL merch. So the merch that we've been talking about, by going to shop.nationalstol.com, you can buy it, but you can also win it. And that will be at the very next and last event for the eSTOL season. And then the big prize is, well, folks, it is a Honeycomb Aeronautical Charlie rudder pedals worth $350. And I can't tell you how many questions I get. Still to this day, I'm not even streaming anymore very often. And I still get questions about, oh, what pedals do you have? What about this? What about that? And these pedals are one of the ones that are often referenced when people are talking about getting new rudder pedals. So they're great. They're worth $350. Somebody is going to win. So make sure that you get in here and compete. Make sure to tune in for the final event. Kat, do we have the date on that final event?
I can get you the date of that. Bear with me a second. Oh, it's November the 22nd.
Yeah, so November 22nd, please hop in and join us for the last event, the championship round. And again, bunch of prizes, going to be drawings, so get in there and compete. And let's see, anything else, Kat? Anything else to round out here?
There is one thing. Excuse me. I did want to say a big happy birthday to a certain 9-year-old lad. I'm sure they're out there. They know who we're referring to. So happy birthday. And yeah, absolutely. We've got big fans out there. So I wanted just to do that one. Other than that, I think that might be everything.
Oh, there's one more thing. So there's a final little tidbit to add to the championship round. That's going to be on November 22nd. There will be an after stole landing challenge. So the top 5 competitors present from each class are going to have an elimination challenge. Points will be decided, but there will be points added to the best of the top 5 of all the competitors that are present for the championship round, and those points will be added to the season total points. So make sure to get to that competition, especially if you're one of the guys like Brown Dog, who's got points all season long. You don't want to let someone else slip in your spot, so make sure you guys are there. Thank you guys for all showing up to the event. Thanks to everybody who watched, competed, helped with the cameras, ran the show, etc., etc. We all love you guys. National eSTOL is out, folks. We'll see you on the next one, November 22nd. Be there or be square.